All right, everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Who Really Knows podcast, where we ask the questions, but at the end of the day, who really knows?
Oh, yeah.
As always, I'm your host, AJ, here with my good friends, Dylan and Michael.
Yes, sir.
And join us on this wild ride. We decided to take a break from the modern day hysteria, and we're going to do a serial killer profile. And this one kind of fell into our life. We'll get into it. But before you jump into this episode with both feet, you should definitely follow us on Twitter at WRKPod, on Instagram at WRKPodcast. Hit us up we're getting really close to the milestone where we can have our custom URL on YouTube. So subscribe to us on YouTube, even if you don't watch the live show, just so that we can have it. I don't know.
Just do it.
Yeah, just do it.
Just fucking do it.
And if you want to support the show outside of subscribing to our YouTube channel, make sure that you hit up our Patreon page. It's patreon.com/WRKpod. Be like one of the... we don't have a name for our fans yet. So if you want to create a name for yourself, go on YouTube, comment what you want the name of our fans to be on the YouTube video of this podcast. The live stream, it'll be archived, so I mean it's there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, tell us what you want us to call you, because all the good shows have names for their fans.
I feel like we won't get any serious responses to that.
Yeah, but anyway, but you should definitely
we'll get one.
I don't want serious responses, so let's just say that
we'll figure it out. But yeah, just hit us up on Twitter, Instagram, our Patreon page, follow or subscribe to us on YouTube, and then hit that notification bell so you can see every time we live stream. It's usually Mondays. If something comes up, it'll be on Tuesdays. We try not to miss any weeks. Sometimes shit comes up. It's life. We all have jobs. It is what it is. But our number one job that we want is to entertain you guys. And so the only way that happens is if you hit that subscribe button and hit that Patreon up, I guess.
Yeah, at least buy our liquor for us. Shit.
Yeah, just do it.
But yeah, outside of that, we appreciate our current Patreon subscribers, and yeah, we're talking about you, Spum, and Courtney, and McCheese, and Kegro, and all our top patrons. We love you guys. Thanks for supporting the show
so very much.
Yeah, outside of that, I don't really have a whole lot.
It's like a weird kind of love.
I know Dylan and I have been talking about jumping into the Twitch game, and
well, shit, Spotify talking about their shit
Spotify
opening up.
gaming might be a thing,
who the hell knows?
But yeah, we'll just if we decide to jump into the Twitch game, we'll let you know. We'll put links and everything. But yeah, we'll catch you after the end of this groovy beat for this juicy ass episode. Because I'm gonna tell you, I got like 5 pages of notes, and it's gonna be spicy.
Spicy song.
We introed through the whole song almost there.
I think we did it on purpose just so we could listen to the whole song.
Yeah, it could be a very subconscious decision that we didn't discuss but made. It's a good best lo-fi song in podcasting. Right. We'll throw it out there. Well, if you beg to differ, throw it in the comment section. Leave a thumbs up. I don't know. Leave a comment on whatever source you're. I mean, we're on iHeartRadio and all kinds of shit. So
yeah,
leave a comment whatever you can do. Let us know.
Find it.
But yeah, today, this one fell in our laps. So we've been teasing about doing another serial killer episode after. I don't think we've done one in like 2 months.
Who was our who was our last one?
I think the last
shit going on.
Yeah, I think the last one we talked about was the Green River Killer.
Yeah, man, that feels like a while ago.
Yeah, that was a while ago.
That feels like forever ago.
Like, that was like early March, I think. And it's July, dude.
Damn.
Or not early March, like probably late March.
Maybe
late.
Early March.
The month started with an M. That's all I know. Shit's just been popping off. I don't know.
What year is it?
Yeah, is it 2021 yet? Like, who's the president? I don't know. But yeah, this one fell into our laps, and I just threw out the idea last night. I think Michael had just gotten off our Discord server, and I was like, why don't we talk about the Golden State Killer? Wake up today to find out that he's pleading guilty to 23 of the crimes that he is charged with. Blew my mind.
I know.
People, my girlfriend thought that it was a planned thing that I did, and she's like, "Wow, I can't believe you planned this out this way." And I was like, "I fucking didn't do shit."
I had to keep
this
asking.
was a mistake.
I had to keep asking, like, man, like, because at first you said, something about how it works out for us, and I'm like, oh yeah, like AJ, did he plan it? He never really said he planned it, so I was like kind of confused. But yeah, wake up and you see this guy fucking in a courtroom, like cameras are in there and everything. This fucking Ted Bundy all over again.
It was 13 counts of rape and like what was it? 20,
10 counts of murder. He pleaded guilty to 23 charges.
23 rapes and fucking 13 murders or whatever.
Well,
just whatever they charged him with.
No,
that's
what he's charged with is way more than that.
Well, that's what he pled. I just was looking at shit.
What the Golden State Killer is credited for is way more.
Credited,
than
yes, credited.
Right.
Yeah, but these are just the ones that he had pled
is able to be charged for.
Yes. Yeah.
Basically, I mean, as far as I could tell, just some fucking old guy now who's getting told what to say.
You think so?
I don't know, honestly.
No, he's only like 74.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. But yeah, I mean, we'll get into it if we go to the court cases or not. I don't know.
He just didn't want to die, so that's pretty much what it was.
I mean, he doesn't. Yeah, I don't know.
Because he was on death row, and then he did a plea deal that when he pled guilty to all this stuff, he took like 11 life sentences or whatever.
Oh, he was actually on death row?
Yeah.
Oh, I did not know that.
But
it's California,
they said they were trying.
So he was just going to die on death row. That's what California death row is.
Yeah.
They don't actually execute unless it's like extremely heinous.
Which
this guy falls under the extremely heinous.
So they were probably trying to kill him then.
On the when they were talking about it, like the court cases and everything, since we're just kind of on that, it said over the next 10 years it would cost taxpayers of California, I think, $20 million, like for the court case. I don't know how much normal court cases, how much stuff costs. Are they like, what are they trying to say they have to pay for? Like, what all does that cover?
Court cases go, especially like murder and rape cases and shit. Like court case, the amount of money it costs goes up every year because they keep increasing the amount that it costs to do testing and shit like that. Testing's more extensive.
Right. It just does. I mean, does 20 million seem right? I mean, does that not just seem a little? I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to say
bureaucrats.
But 20 mil?
Yeah, that's a little fucking crazy.
Why can't we just end? Like, I mean, that's kind of unfair. What I was about to say. I was about to say, why can't we just end it at the 23 things that he admitted guilty to? But that's unfair to the families that don't have closure.
That's the thing, and that's what they were saying, that they did it this way because most of those people that were witnesses and at the time are like 80 years old as well, and the COVIDs is going on and everything like that. So
I mean, I
didn't want to get them sick.
He was admitting shit with the fucking like, what the fuck are you a raid boss?
That's where it's crazy because it seems like you think if he was gonna just be like, I'm guilty, I'm not gonna die, he would talk normal or wouldn't have to. But I mean, he talks like he's barely able to breathe. He's like guilty. Which to me is just like the guy was a clever man, he did clever things. So it's like, who knows?
Got away with it for 40 years.
I know.
So fucking clever ass shit.
And so he's up there on the stand. Like my first guess is when I hear him sounding like fucking Stan's grandpa, like, come on, Billy, kill me. I feel like he's just putting on a fucking voice. I don't know.
They just think he's a senile old man.
Did anyone ever?
He is known for putting on a fucking show when he gets caught, and we'll talk about that.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, he pled guilty to it's 26 charges of a combination of rapes and murders, in relation to the Golden State Killer case. Ipso facto, Joseph James DeAngelo. I'll probably refer to him as DeAngelo throughout most of this episode because I don't want to call him GSK because that's kind of dumb. But
Yeah.
him pleading guilty to 26 charges in the case kind of, to me, makes him admit to being the Golden State Killer. I mean, it's basically almost proven that he's the gold. Like,
Well, it was DNA proven, yeah.
yeah, in 26 cases where he's pleading guilty, he's the guy. He's definitely the guy, right?
100%.
And there might be one or two that weren't him, but a majority of it.
There were
him.
a few, other serial killers going on at the same time.
Yeah, but like a majority of it in these cases are probably him.
Yeah, well, because there was the Bay rapist or whatever, and then like a couple years before that, there's that one we talked about, fucking the Night Stalker.
I mean, that was after him.
That was after.
Yeah, that was after him. Richard Ramirez was after. And we'll get into that too, because I have a very funny anecdote about that.
I told my buddy today, I was telling him how it ends, and he was, kind of giggling. I was like, hold on. No. I think for this guy, and then I was like, wait, you think this is fucking funny? Let me tell you how the Night Stalker fucking ends. Like
getting chased by fucking cholos and cholettes down fucking East
mobs
Hollywood.
Of people just running down the street chasing the skinny fucking meth out looking. Yeah,
he literally looked like he was 3 days in on a meth binge every single time there was a picture of him.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I found this Twitter page. It was called like serial, like, oh, what the fuck was it called?
You'd see some pictures and it would look like a Tinder profile, and you're like, oh man, yeah, it doesn't look that bad. And you see a real picture, like, oh god, no. How does it?
That's like every date I've ever been on.
There's like there's a Twitter page. I think it's called like hard to find serial killer photos, or it's basically, that's what it is. I don't know if that's what it's called. I can't remember it off the top of my head, but I think I followed on the podcast account. Maybe it's my main account, but yeah, I just got so many pictures, just saved my phone just to make thumbnails for potential episodes that we do on these fucking weirdos.
I think I saw that where there was like a lot of pictures just back in the day of these killers, and I was like, damn, son.
Yeah, like Eileen Wuornos's like middle school graduation photo and stuff like that. Right. It's just like, oh fuck, dude, you look normal back then.
Could you go back in time and just fucking kill her then?
Then you started smoking crack and banging truckers, and fucking now you're killing people.
Shit,
but that's not who we're here to talk about today. We're not talking about Eileen Wuornos. She's had her time on our channel, on our show.
She was nowhere on the level, I feel like.
No, not even fucking close.
Nowhere.
Dude, this guy literally, like, I was watching a documentary and my stomach was just like, what the like, this is like the guy, like Mr. Brooks and horror movies like that where people stalk and prey on people. Mm-hmm. Like, this is the guy that they base that. Like, we did a whole episode on movies based on serial killers. And that's kind of what made us be like, why don't we do that once a month? But yeah, no, this guy is like the guy that they base like the stalker, killer, rapist guy.
I mean, I don't know who would have done what he did before that, but he definitely just has. It's not really like. Kind of, it is. He has an MO, but there's other things about him that it's just kind of like, I don't know. It's an MO as well. It's just, I don't know. Sometimes basic, sometimes extreme. I don't know. He's a crazy motherfucker. He's very, very interesting.
So the Golden State Killer he's a American serial killer, serial rapist, and burglar who is credited for 13 murders, more than 50 rapes, and over 100 burglaries in California in between the years 1974 and 1986. So in a 12-year span.
So like, what was he? I wonder what he was taking. That's what I want to know. If you're just doing burglaries,
the burglaries start off actually
just super
kind of funny. The burglaries.
Okay.
I want to emphasize the burglaries. Not talk about any of the other crimes. The burglaries start out kind of funny. But according to most of the rape victims, they reported that he had a very small dick.
That was very funny.
I fucking laughed my ass off
too. That was when I clicked on the YouTube video to watch live when I joined in. First thing I heard in 10 seconds, the chick saying, "And would like to be noted that all of the victims all said that he had a very small penis, so small that they were asking, medical facilities to try and say, hey, do you know anyone with micro penises around here? Like,
no shit.
Because
Asked the
Actually, no shit.
Like actually asking the fucking
they went that far.
It was that. Well, that's why he was a fucking police officer.
Yeah. I don't know. That's just crazy to me. I can't believe that's the first thing I heard. I thought I was gonna hear some, gruesome story, which I did, but just the first thing you hear is how they all came together to recognize he had a small dick. Like,
dude, fucking worst thing to be known as a serial killer is. Or not
serial
killer. I mean, he is a serial killer. I was about to say not a serial killer, but I was like, no,
a serial killing rapist.
Yeah,
the serial killer with the smallest dick.
Damn,
that's unfortunate.
So unfortunate.
Yeah.
I mean, like, is that?
He's definitely the girlfriend in jail, right?
No, dude, he's getting it in.
No, he's probably in a fucking secured wing.
Yeah, dude, they wouldn't let him out because he would probably get killed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like they'd even protect him that's what I was saying about like the $20 million court case. Even with COVID going on, I feel like they want everyone that was a victim of him to have their like, I feel like especially in California, like a lot of states want families to have closure on cases and stuff like that and be able to have the kill. Like, that's a huge thing in some states where it's like the killer has to be able to hear the family's like woes.
Oh yeah.
And I feel like if that's happening in other states, like, I don't know it for a fact that it's happening in California, but I know it's happening in other states. And if any state's going to do it, it's probably California. And I feel like they definitely try to keep them alive at all costs to at least amend that.
But I mean, would they? I guess they charge,
especially for a law enforcement officer, like a retired cop and Navy veteran that was a serial killer and a serial rapist.
No,
he's definitely dead in jail.
He didn't retire from being a police officer.
He did, didn't he?
No, he was only on the force for 6 years and got fucking booted.
Oh, well,
for stealing shit.
That makes sense.
That
matches his MO.
He went to like an Ace Hardware and stole like some fucking petty ass shit.
No, he stole a hammer and dog repellent.
Yeah.
Which, for sneaking into houses, everyone was buying dogs at the time. People were buying guard dogs off the chain because of him. So I don't know though how far in.
Just go to Ollie's and get a T-bone, dude. It costs like $4 there.
No, what you do is you get some fucking hot dogs and dip it in fucking.
Also, if you're planning on committing crimes, don't listen to us because we don't know what the fuck we're talking about.
Did you guys hear this though? So when he got fired, did you read further about that? About his so when he was in, God, I can't remember what the place was called, what town, but the police chief who ended up firing him, Golden State Killer, called him and said, "I'm gonna kill you." Like, left him a death threat, saying like, "I'm gonna kill you for this," or some shit. And then the chief said, I can't remember how long after, but his daughter, when they were at home, his daughter walked into his room to wake him up and said someone was staring out or through my window. And it said that the chief went outside to look and didn't see anyone, but saw footprints imprints right outside the girl's window. So
he was only a cop in Exeter and Auburn, California. So it's probably Auburn, I think, was the second city where he was a cop.
Yeah. Probably.
Yeah, it was outside of not San Francisco, not San Diego either. What the fuck is San Andreas? Yeah, he's a cop outside of San Andreas. That's what we're gonna go with. No, what the fuck was the town called?
Wait, which one?
It's Auburn is a suburb of
the city.
It's like by Orange City.
No, that's Exeter is next to that.
Orange City.
Hold on.
Los Angeles?
I'll find it.
Orange
No, not
County.
LA. Or it's in Orange County, I think.
Yeah, it's in Orange County for sure.
God, where the fuck? God, my notes are so fucking weird. I'm not used to having my notes be this fucking intact. It's very hard to find shit. Santa Barbara County, I think, is where. I don't know. I don't know California very well. I barely know Iowa, and I fucking live here.
Just think if you're like a fucking little ass girl and you fucking see that shit, then god damn.
I can drive through like 4 towns in the entire country and know where I'm going. Those 5 towns. Those towns are Lake George, New York, Queensbury, New York, Glens Falls, New York, Cedar Falls, Iowa, and Waterloo, Iowa. Des Moines, I can get around in Des Moines pretty easily. I guess Chicago's not that hard if you're. I don't know.
I can GPS anything.
Yeah, I'm just saying without GPS.
Oh. I can drive America.
Yeah, GPS you can drive anywhere. Dude, I had to drive through downtown. When I moved to New York, I had to drive through downtown Cleveland because the interstate was under construction.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking awful. It was like 8 o'clock at night, so everyone was coming home from going to dinner in downtown Cleveland, and I was like in my Cavalier, just like, I don't know where to go. I'm stuck in traffic. Like there's 4 lanes on this fucking one-way
Cleveland
street.
Sucks.
Yeah, fuck Cleveland. Not really. I don't mind it, dude. I gotta drive over the Ohio. Is it the Ohio? I think it's the Ohio River. And the Hard Rock Cafe. It was like just a calm ass night. I got to see the reflection because I was in dead ass traffic. So I was just looking at the river. You get the water was so calm that you could see the reflection of the Hard Rock Hotel sign on the river, but it was backwards and it just looked so cool. But that's not what we're here to do.
Ohio's all right. It ain't bad.
Yeah,
It's got a
terrible.
bitchin' amusement park. They got a bitchin' amusement park.
So he is believed to be responsible for 3 separate crime sprees in California, each of which gave him a different nickname in the press before it was pieced together that all the crimes were committed by the same person. Some of the names, and there's more than 3 names because every newspaper wanted to name him something different, were so the first one, the Vasilia Ransacker.
I like that ransacker. I'll come ransack that shit.
The East Area Rapist and the East Bay Rapist, both in the same area. The original Night Stalker and the Diamond Knot Killer, which finally they all came together and became the Golden State Killer.
Which wasn't even... I think it was... did you guys see it was Patton Oswalt's wife that coined that?
No
really?
shit.
Yeah, Patton Oswalt's wife was writing a book about it. She was doing research and other shit, but she was writing a book about it, and Patton got it published and stuff, and she coined Golden State Killer in it, and that's just... I'm pretty sure...
It's one of the coolest serial killer names, though. Like,
yeah,
realistically, like...
It's probably Patton Oswalt came up with. He's probably just sitting there... Fucking funny little dude.
One of the best monikers that there is out there. Well, and then so like we've talked about the Son of Sam. Now we're talking about the Golden State Killer, the Night Stalker, which retroactively they renamed DeAngelo, the original Night Stalker, which must have ate at Ramirez when he was in jail. Dude, can you imagine that? They like take your fucking moniker and give it to someone else. Be like, no, you're the second one now.
Yeah.
Like, I know you did it just because you did it after. You're the second one now.
Wouldn't that be the ultimate way to fuck with serial killers? Just give them the same name. Just keep the 5th Night Stalker. just keep giving them the backhand names.
Well, I mean, maybe we stop giving them dope ass names.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's what I mean is give them the same name. Call him fucking John Doe, you know?
The teddy bear hugger.
Like Jack the Ripper. Like,
right.
I feel like we really signed a fucking notice when we named some dude that was killing prostitutes and killed like 6 prostitutes in the 1800s. We named him Jack the Ripper. And now everyone's like, if I kill more than 6 people, I'll get a nickname. Like,
I thought it was a woman trying to kill off her fucking competition.
Maybe.
I
don't know.
That's my theory on that one. We should do a Jack.
Could be. I mean, there's been 200 years of investigation and nothing has ever came out of it. I don't know what.
Well, I'm pretty sure it's probably Dylan DeGroat.
Once I finish my time machine, that is.
Exactly.
But I sent my letter to Elon Musk. He hasn't replied, but maybe someday.
So DeAngelo was caught There were several suspects who were investigated, but were cleared by DNA evidence, alibi, other investigation methods. Some of these people were Brett Glasby from Goleta, California. Dude, California has some whatever. But he was considered a suspect by Santa Barbara County investigators. And if you've watched Psych as religiously as I did, you would know that shit goes down in Santa Barbara.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's really true because
It's
the only thing I
yeah.
know about Santa Barbara is from the TV show Psych.
Same here. That's it. But yeah, shit.
I didn't even know it was a real town until I saw it on Craigslist. How fucking crazy. Like, I thought it was a fictional, like, I thought it was like Scrubs made up, what the fuck? They live in Los Angeles or Sandia, Los Angeles or something like that in Scrubs. Like, it's like a combination of San Diego, Los Angeles, and San Francisco.
Some weird
Well,
shit.
fucking, I didn't know fucking, where the dudes from, what are the fucking 3 dudes that work at
Workaholics?
Workaholics, dude. So they fucking,
they live in
Cucamonga Ranchero or something like that.
yeah, Ranchero, California.
Ranchero Cucamonga is an actual fucking place.
Yeah, it's like outside of LA.
Yeah. Ranchero Cucamonga.
It's literally like a suburb, I think.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
That is a little wild.
The reason this guy got he got passed off as being the Golden State Killer is because in 1982 he was murdered while visiting in Mexico. Before the murder of Juliana Cruz eliminated him as a suspect through DNA evidence. Another, this is the fucking one that kills me. Paul Cornfed Schneider, a high-ranking member in the Aryan Brotherhood, living in Orange County when Garantons, Manuel, and Whithun. When Garantons, Manuel, Whithun, and Julianne Cruz were killed, but DNA cleared him in the 90s through their new extensive testing. And then another suspect was Joe Alsip. I'm really bad at pronouncing names, by the way.
We're just trying to get them right.
Yeah, I'm trying
changes. Sometimes we just got to wait till the show to decide as a group what we call someone, you know?
Yeah.
Sometimes we just give people new names. It's whatever.
So Joe Alsip, I think is his name. A friend and business partner of the victim, Layman Smith. Alsip was arraigned after the Smith murders in 1982, but the charges were dropped because of DNA testing. But the person that turned him in was a priest that he confessed to.
Really?
No shit.
Yeah.
So did they not test the fucking right lady or something or what? Maybe he didn't maybe he wore a condom.
I don't know, but I don't know. I don't.
Maybe it was just the priest fucking trying to get this guy because he didn't like him.
I guess priest, pastor, whatever the fuck he was, but still, like.
Well, his fucking pastor Langle was fucking didn't like this guy and was like, dude, I'm trying to get him to go to jail.
I don't think Pastor Langle would do it. I think other pastors would do a lot. Not all pastors. There's some. I'm not religious, but there's some pastors I like out there. Some good guys.
There are for sure.
But I just like
there's probably more bad ones than there are good ones.
But what with DNA evidence testing, and I think this is one of the ones that homeboy DeAngelo. I shouldn't call him homeboy DeAngelo. That's fucked
He's
up.
not my homeboy.
He's not my homeboy. Fuck that guy. He raped and murdered people. Why the fuck did I call him homeboy? DeAngelo. I'm pretty sure this is one of the people that he testified guilty today.
Really?
I think so.
He was probably just fucking trying to save.
I don't know what the
bro.
fuck. This pastor was.
Bro, that's what I'm thinking. What if he was just trying to fucking get rid of like the competition?
He's trying to bang the wife and adopt the kids.
Bro, been there.
Some weird shit.
Yeah, I don't know. It wasn't until 2001 that DNA testing proved that the East Area rapist and the original Night Stalker, which is what they were now calling him after Ramirez was Wait, when did Ramirez get captured? He got captured in
the 80s.
86, right?
Yeah.
Or something like that.
And he got
Yeah.
captured in like
And so
70. What?
Well, this guy didn't get captured until 2018.
Oh, no shit.
Mhm.
Yeah. And it wasn't until 2001 that they knew that they were the same person. Like they thought it was two different people. And there's this guy, his name's Detective Hole, who cracked the whole case. I didn't even put that in my notes. I just like it came
Not
to my
cool.
head.
Not cool, AJ.
He cracked the whole case. But he cracked the whole case 9 months before he retired as a detective after working on the investigation for 24 years.
Damn.
So for 24 years, this guy's job was to figure out who this motherfucker was.
So he didn't do shit for 24 fucking years.
Oh, he probably worked his ass off for 24 years.
Wait.
He was probably like verbally assaulting lab assistants. Like, you will fucking run that again. They're like, we ran it every day for the last 20 years.
Well,
he's like, run it again, bitch.
Did you hear how it happened?
What?
How he got caught?
Oh yeah, but we don't want to get into that yet.
Okay.
That's a juicy ending.
Dude, that's so fucking weird to me.
Yeah, it's a juicy ending, but that all has to do with Captain. We'll call him Captain Hole. That all has to do with Captain Hole, who is apparently incredibly handsome.
Oh.
But I mean, like
Hell yeah.
I'd be cool if he was my uncle, you know.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
like, yeah, apparently Captain Hole, like, the only reason this guy got caught is because of what we'll talk about later. But I just want to point out that Captain Hole, Detective Hole, cracked the whole case.
Shut up.
I can't believe I've made
Stop
that.
saying that.
That was off the top of my head, dude. Come on, give me credit where credit's due.
No,
I
you're
loved
not. You're
it.
not a dad yet. You can't be saying dad jokes.
Dude, I think we have to be. I was saying I was thinking about it earlier when I'm around Emma making jokes. I'm like, God, fuck. I feel like all my jokes around her are just some stupid dad shit.
Dude, but this guy cracked like probably the most publicly known cold case in history.
Wait,
like,
you said so? What?
Oh,
what do you
yeah.
mean 9? What'd you say again? 9
he was
months?
9 months away from retiring.
Oh, okay,
And then
okay.
after he figured it out, we'll get into it later because I have more on it later.
He had a party.
But he, so 9 months before his investigation, he was able to find out who it was, and then they had an operation. We'll get into the operation later. But this is like the most publicly known cold case
Right.
in probably ever, outside of Jack the Ripper and who the fuck took the Lindenberg's baby. So the only person
They flushed it down the toilet.
the only person that can top Captain Hole is if someone finds out where the Lindenberg baby ended up. Like, that's the only, like, I can't think of anything in American.
How long?
Did I not just tell you?
We have from
That
what?
flushed it down the toilet.
What did it start from? It was 75, I think. That started 75.
75 or 74. 1974 is when his burglary spree started.
Psycho, bro.
Was it 74?
Yeah, it was like December of 74.
Did you guys also read up on 75 when there was a cop from, I think it was his department or somewhere close, a cop got shot? And
that's in his what the fuck is the town
Visalia.
called? Visalia, yeah. So that's where
in Visalia.
Yeah. So in my notes I say, now let's get to the meat and potatoes of the story. Literally it says, now let's get into the meat and potatoes of the story.
Shit, I already brought the potatoes.
God damn it, Dad.
So his known life of crime started under the persona of the Visalia ransacker, where he had committed over 100 burglaries between I think it was March of 1974 until the middle of 1975. And he would literally break into someone's house, fuck their shit up, rearrange the furniture, and steal things of low value, but things that were personal to people. That's how it started. Things that were personal, like irreplaceable shit. Like, he would steal people's AA chips and shit. He would literally take a single earring out of someone's jewelry box just to fuck with people. And
that's kind of badass.
And he would let them know that they were there by rearranging their living room.
Dude, just think if you fucking came into your house and your living room was rearranged.
Does that not sound familiar to either of you guys? Have you never heard about things like that happening before in California? So if it to the viewers, if it sounds familiar, it's because it's right out of Charles Manson's idea of Helter Skelter. But now he was not knowingly that I know of the idea of Helter Skelter was they were breaking into high-end houses in Hollywood and LA in the late 60s, and they were rearranging the houses, painting the walls. Like they would paint Helter Skelter on the walls, which is a Beatles song. And they were trying to they would frame black people for doing it. And they were trying to start Manson was actively trying to start a race war in LA County. And this guy probably wasn't doing that. Can or cannot confirm that.
Dude.
But he did basically the exact same thing that they were doing without it being racially motivated.
I just feel like, he did X amount of tours in fucking, Vietnam. He probably would just fucking go and be like, dude, I'm fucking invincible right now. I can do whatever the fuck I want.
I smoke crack.
I killed fucking.
I mean, he did.
80 men.
He was in fucking armed forces and shit, and then he goes and becomes a police officer, and not saying that all police officers are bad, but there's, the studies that they have that, show that when you give someone power, what they turn into.
The Stanford Project.
A little smaller.
The Stanford Project is just the biggest example of abuse of power ever.
Dude, that was fucking.
And that's fucking that's graduate students. Not like they did 4 years and they're doing 2 more years.
And these are the kids that you want, that are fucking, I don't know,
out there writing legislation and shit. Probably
exactly.
Some of them, I wouldn't be surprised.
Right, they can't keep their emotions in check.
But he would AOC kind of people.
He would literally do this multiple times a night, in multiple different houses.
Dude, that's dope.
I mean, what? You just gonna stop after a woman?
Bro, just think about the rush, bro.
That's what I'm that rush was he probably tried doing fucking cocaine and shit and was like, this is nothing,
dude. This ain't shit.
Or maybe I do both of them.
And then he tried to do skydiving probably, and that wasn't it.
Well, and this is important too because it fits his MO later. Is that he would straight up lean the homeowner's china back before plastic plates were a thing, when everything was fine glass china, and you got it from your grandma that she got in the 40s, shit like that. He leaned them on all the entryways of the houses when he broke into climbed through the window. So that way, if he heard a plate or a glass break, he would jump out the window and get the fuck out.
He did a lot of weird things with fucking plates.
Yeah, and that's why I wanted this is the first step, and that's why I wanted to preface it here.
What a weird.
It's because it's super. Actually, it's this first step is super important in the shit that he did later.
It's just intelligent, dude. I think.
Yeah,
it's smart. Dude. He planned. It talks about him being a good planner about shit.
I wonder who taught him that though, because somebody has to teach you something.
I mean, think of all, but that's an old school trick. Back in the day, they didn't have alarm systems or anything. They're probably thinking noises. That's how we do it today. Noise and alarm.
Right, but you could fucking. I don't know. Who taught him that? Because dude, there's a lot of ways you can make tripwires.
You got probably a fucking burglar that he arrested when he was a cop.
True. Probably. Yeah, he learned all the shit.
Probably that.
Right,
I don't know.
Right.
I'm that's a speculation on my part, but
the plates he was weird. Plates are weird to me. Why plates?
Because it makes a really loud noise when a disc breaks on its a glass disc when it breaks on its opposite side. It makes a really loud noise.
Opa.
Either way, yeah. just what other noise thing could you could do a lot, but plates, they're stacked nicely. You could just set it in front of doors, just simple as that. That's probably one of the lesser ideas that
That's just one
of the smaller things
thing,
that shows that he's
that plate thing was the thing that fucking like stuck out to me a lot.
I mean,
like,
one time I was at a college party and I unscrewed the light bulb in the bathroom and put a mousetrap on the toilet seat. I got a pretty good laugh out of it.
Unscrewed a light bulb and
I unscrewed the only light bulb in the bathroom and I put a mousetrap on the toilet seat. And then someone sat down on it.
So I've always seen you get those little fucking.
It was fucking awesome, dude.
You always
doesn't
get
hurt that bad.
Those little fucking what's it called? Those like things that you throw at people and they kind of fucking go or whatever.
Yeah, the snappers.
The snappers. You put them underneath the toilet seat so when they sit down it pops and shit.
Yeah, you gotta put them like right on like where the rest.
Yeah, the
like
rest.
It's literally like a finger width wide.
Yeah, I've done that before.
Yeah, I've done that too.
That was an April Fool's when I was a kid.
It's getting close to 4th of July. I'm sure I'm gonna go buy like fucking 3,000 of them for like $2.
Just don't sabotage the studio bathroom because I don't want to hear one of us go to the bathroom in the middle of the podcast and just hear shit, snap, oh shit.
I don't want to scare Piper.
No, yeah, that's probably a better idea. But so I don't know, like this whole breaking into people's houses and rearranging their furniture and shit like that and stealing petty shit.
Says he would go through the women's underwear as well.
Yeah.
Do you think you'd smell it?
Probably. Why would you not? But so like if it stopped there, he's just a hoodlum prankster. But naturally, as we know, that's not where it stopped.
Oh yeah.
Unfortunately. I wish it did. It didn't. It got severely worse. He began stealing firearms and ammunition from houses.
Damn.
So on September 1st or September 11th, 1975, he commits his first murder. It's the only murder he did under the name of, or under the, I guess, journalistic name. Under the what moniker? Moniker. That's the word I'm looking for.
What does Mark Twain use?
He's under the moniker of the Visalia ransacker. He commits his only murder under that name on September 11th, 1975. He broke into the house of a gentleman named Cloud Snelling. Cloud Snelling already that year in February. And this is like a big thing that too is he comes back to places where he's been caught. Like surveilling, I guess.
Oh yeah.
And Cloud Snelling had chased a masked person away from his house. He was lurking outside of his daughter's window, peering in the window. And his daughter's like, Daddy, there's someone in my window. And which also, again, is part of his Golden State Killer MO that we'll talk about later. The window prowler in February, that was in February of 1975. He came back in September. And a little after 2 a.m., Cloud Snelling hears a commotion outside of his house. If it were me or Dylan, sometimes Michael, this fuck would have been put on full blast because I know regularly me and Dylan are amped up on fucking video games.
Yep.
Not beer for me anymore because I'm trying to cleanse myself from the beer, but just some drinks. A lot of times just some energy drinks. Sometimes Mike is there as well with us at that time. And he would have been put on full blast because we're up and ready to go at 2 a.m. and playing our dumb fucking video games where we're pent up with rage because we're just not up to that tier. Where
I don't even keep my shotguns at home. I keep them at my mom's. Using a shotgun's too easy, bro.
Dude, I use these pistols.
No, that's not fun, man. You gotta swing something. I don't care.
But I'm just like,
bat, golf club, whatever it is.
It wouldn't because so this guy gets waken up by a commotion outside his house. I'm just saying we're already up and at it.
Like, right.
And
so we'd probably hear him break into a house and we'd be like, what was that? Is someone behind us? Our headphones would be too fucking loud, whatever.
Until I hear someone walk down the steps and then I banjo kazooie the fucking guitar over someone's head.
God damn.
But it's just like so this guy hears something outside his house, and he sees a guy trying to abduct his daughter in the carport of his house out her bedroom window where he had previously seen someone. And the man sees Cloud, shoots him, and leaves on a bicycle.
No shit.
Leaves on a bicycle.
I wonder what he shot him.
That was his bicycle. Was supposedly his main.
Was it a pistol?
Transport.
Had to have
Yeah.
been a pistol, right?
Yeah, that was my first thought.
See this guy riding
Reading
around
this?
with an AK.
No, my first thought reading this was, what the fuck is your abduction attempt gonna do when your escape vehicle is a Huffy with pegs?
Mm-hmm.
They didn't have pegs back then. They didn't have pegs back
They
then.
didn't have pegs back then.
No, not in the 70s, right?
I mean,
I
what?
don't know. I
How
was
old's,
thinking
how
he was
old's the
gonna make-
daughter? Do we?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
He was gonna make her pedal, and he'd be on the back of it.
Like, what the fuck is like?
What?
Why are you trying to abduct someone when you're on a fucking bicycle? That's like,
Damn.
it blows my mind. Blows
Maybe he didn't think that the dad was there, and he was gonna just take the car keys and take the car too.
After you take the person,
Maybe he was gonna.
you
kill-
wait outside, you little bitch. Like, what?
He was gonna kill the dad, and then
Well, he hasn't killed anyone. Well, this is the first time he killed someone.
right. I like his name.
But it was like
Cloud's a cool name.
it was like a reactive killing. It wasn't even like he
Right.
planned on it.
That's kind of wild because yeah, it makes sense. I was like, because when we were talking about the span, I think what I wrote down. It's a span of 20 months where it was like 120 burglaries. Dude, fucking
Burglaries.
kill me.
English is hard.
Fucking one murder though. That really. I guess I didn't think about that. That it was like a reactive murder or something. Because I mean, that's a long time to go and just have one kill just somewhere in there. 20 months too. Especially when he was killing people and didn't do that before. Like, I mean, I know we've talked about who was the.
Well, he started killing people after he killed that guy. That's the first person that he ever killed.
Right, and that's probably. I'm trying to remember who.
And he was like, "Oh fuck,
Who
I
is
just killed
the
someone."
the arsonist that we talked about? Fucking
Fuck.
God, was it New York or the jazz player, Jazz in the Streets or whatever? What was his name? You know who I'm talking about?
I can't think of it. The only New Yorker I can think of off the top of my head that we talked about, Son of Sam.
Maybe it's Son of Sam.
Son of Sam.
Isn't that the jazz guy? Jazz
It might
at the
be.
clubs, keep the jazz playing throughout the night, or else I'll fucking kill you.
Yeah. That's Son of Sam.
Because like
the keep the jazz playing. That's the Axeman from New Orleans.
The axe, yeah. So never mind. Whoever this was,
If you're playing jazz on your radio,
I'm just
I
thinking
won't kill your-
who was the arson? Because I'm trying to think. Because he didn't kill people at first either. He was just like lighting shit on fire, just burning shit down. And remember, he burned the dog alive or some shit, or shot the dog. I can't remember.
What's it? Fuck, I don't. Oh man, dude, all these people are blurring together.
I know. Yeah, the more we just read about serial killers, when I think of it in my head, it just creates like one big super serial killer that has just done all these things.
Never fucking reeks the fucking fresh air of the earth. Hopefully, he's born in like 3029, and the fucking air is barely breathable, and he's like, I have been bred to be the most vicious serial killer, and he just like coughs up like cigarette smoke when he takes his first breath.
God
That's-
damn.
That's when I think of all the serial killers that we talk about combined. That's what I hope is the outcome
if it ever happened.
Yeah,
that they die, they inhale cigarette air and they die.
Yeah,
Fuck yeah, I'm behind that.
yeah, 3049 or
Damn.
29. What did I say? I think it was either 49 or 29. I don't know. Someone will in the comment section correct me. I probably said 30, 69.
67.
Who knows?
84.
69. Hey, what up?
Hey.
Yeah. So on December 12th, we established that his MO was getting away on a bike, right?
Yeah, I mean, that was his best way of transportation. He did car. It said he used cars, or I think it said he had
you're in a
used
big-
cars,
you're
but
in a
he
big
mostly
city.
bike was his biggest like.
You're in the big city, though,
Yeah, dude, you can duck down alleyways in a bike.
Yeah, you're on a bike. What? Who's gonna?
Have you ever seen those movies where it's about like the New York sneaker transporters or?
And it's quiet as I have not, but it's quiet as fuck.
Yeah.
You know?
Unless you put a car in the spoke.
Well, yeah, and I'd probably have a horn on mine.
Yeah, like a little clown horn.
I mean, you guys don't have a horn on yours?
So in December 12th, he was almost caught by the police because he would do his weird burglary scenarios where he would rearrange the furniture and shit, helter-skelter style. And the police figured out a pattern in the neighborhoods that he was doing them in. And they figured that they were just going to sit in the garages of houses where because he would repeatedly burglarize the same neighborhoods. And this is where we were talking about where he shot at the cop earlier. So Detective McGillen was literally just sitting in a garage in the middle of the night, hoping that the ransacker shows up. And by God, he does. He reportedly fired a warning shot at the ransacker, and the man shrieked. This is his account. The man shrieked in fear, snatched his mask off, and went to his knees to surrender. And as the detective approached him to arrest him, DeAngelo shot at the officer, hitting his flashlight. Naturally, the flashlight exploded in the detective's hand, and the Golden State Killer, or at this time the Visalia ransacker, gets away on foot as the police in the area rush to help the injured detective. Can you imagine shooting at someone and missing so badly, but luckily hitting their fucking flashlight?
God damn.
But now that I think about it, when I say it out loud, because when I was typing my notes, it's like, that's fucking stupid. But police hold their flashlights like right next to their head.
Yeah.
He was shooting. I'm just realizing
could have been like over, not even this far. It could have just been like,
yeah, it could have been just right anywhere in front of him, you know.
Now I'm just now realizing, just visualizing it in my head, not typing it on my keyboard. He was trying to shoot that cop in the fucking head.
At first, I was thinking the cop's holding his flashlight like down by his hip. I'm like, how do you fuck that?
Like you're looking for your dog.
Bro, you see a flashlight though. I mean, that's where you think they're at. I'm shooting right towards that light.
So hold the flashlight way off to the side in case. Yeah.
Would you not though? Like because this is where I'd hold my flashlight. What are you doing, bud? You know.
That's a
good point.
That's a new technique. If I ever have to flashlight something, I'm just always gonna hold my flashlight to the side in case anyone tries to attack it, like a
raccoon.
Raking.
I don't know, a raking. Some fucking
possums.
Yeah, those possums are vicious.
So after the second shooting with Detective McGillen, who I picture is like this big fuck off Scottish Irish man, but I was too lazy to look him up, so I don't know if that's true or not.
It was just a little ginger boy.
Yeah, maybe. With a fucking blown up hand.
Mm-hmm. He has a hook.
So this is when DeAngelo moves to the Sacramento area in California. That's where he became known as the East Area Rapist.
When he started going into rape.
East Area Rapist.
Yeah. It's fucked up. Did we give a warning? I don't. At this point, if you're still watching, it's about to get really fucking dark and really fucking sick. So
hopefully you clicked through that you're 18 and older.
And by watching, I also mean listening. I don't know. We usually give a warning at the beginning. I just don't remember if I gave a warning at the beginning of this one. But it's about to get fucking real.
I don't know. If you're 11 years old or younger, turn off this podcast right now.
They 11 years old or younger can't watch it unless they're lying on their accounts.
Gotta be 12.
I've made sure of that because I don't want account strikes.
Yeah, you gotta be at least 13.
That's an actual thing.
Maybe I retract that statement. I mean, technically, it wasn't.
I'm just saying if this is your point to turn back because it's about to start getting into the gruesome 50 rape history of this guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, if we didn't give that warning before, then yeah.
So him raping, it started off just finding fucking single women, moms,
on Tinder.
basically.
So yeah,
Wait.
as the East area rapist, he was active from 1976 to 1979. Like with all those different, I don't know, like these different fucking monikers that he has. It blows. It's literally like watching. I don't know if you like. I was a pro wrestling fan when I was a kid. I'm not so much anymore. Like I think it's cool, kind of.
Right.
But like back in the day, it was like watching someone go from one promotion to another when there was like Turner versus McMahon. We talk about McMahon a lot just because we talk about politics as like the WWE.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
it's like watching someone go from Turner to McMahon or vice versa. And it's like, they're like, this is a different person. And it's like, no, it's the same fucking person. You just changed their goddamn name.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
They just couldn't find one that stuck.
Or if you can't relate to that, I guess I have another example, which is like if Square Enix dropped Final Fantasy and like one of the developers went to a different company and they're like, you're like, yo, this guy's Cloud. And he's like, no, it's not. It's fucking Storm, dude. You gotta know. Those are the two examples I can think of off the top of my head.
Right.
It's like all these pseudonyms. It's like, it's the same fucking guy. Probably like 90% of the time. Because there's a lot of a lot in between where they're, yeah, copycat. Like
and then people that have been, they just were like, well, we'll just chalk it up to him too.
Yeah, one-timers that.
Yeah.
But a lot of like I would say probably 90% of the.
Well, but even
That's
then,
what I
like
would do.
you wouldn't really have that much copycatters because he says in the beginning how when he's moving around, he knew at that time that they different police counties or just cities or whatever didn't talk to each other about like break-ins and shit like that at the time. They did it. So I mean, he was. At first, I feel like he was just unknown. Like they knew shit was going on, but it probably took us a hot minute to, say, and then they create multiple people. But even for those two different, separate people to be created, it still has to be given time. So I mean, all those first, burglaries, like you said, probably 90% him, if not more than that, is probably him. Like, what do you do when you get done on a raid successfully and come out unscathed? You just want to go back in. You just want to keep doing it,
Oh yeah, dude. You want to go right back to that.
A raid in a video game for us, but I get the idea that when you.
By the way, we're gamers that are very passionate about serial killers and conspiracy theories. That's why this show exists.
So,
but yeah, dude, you gotta ride the high, dude.
It's a like when we play a game, you got to get in, got to get out. You get out, it's fucking. You're just like that. That's just so much fulfillment. Like I can't imagine like. Not saying I like his style of it, but I could imagine, the high that you'd get off of doing that. Especially the stakes on him are that's high as fuck.
Dude, yeah.
I wouldn't do that.
Dude, my stomach would be fucking through my fucking mouth, dude.
I'd see
anxiety.
I'd be like, you'd plan it out, and I'd walk up to the house like 3 blocks away, and that's where I'd be like, I don't want to do this anymore. I'd call my mom, like, Mom, I was about to break into a house.
Well, the thing is that his MO was when he moved to the Sacramento area, is that he used his role as a police officer to surveil middle-class neighborhoods, and he would literally sit in his squad car and watch what time this husband leaves for work, what time this husband leaves for work, and he would target women whose husbands worked second or third shift or who lived alone.
Right. Women who
specifically people near schools, parks, and creeks, because those were his easy getaways.
Right.
Because he did everything on bicycle.
He would. I mean, you guys read about it too, like how he'd watch, and then what's really fucked up is when he would do the phone calls, too. Like he would call houses.
Oh, and there's even more fucked up shit about the phone calls.
Right, right. But the original, the first part of the phone calls is just him. He's calling.
Is Phil there?
Yeah, it's
Phil doesn't live here. Okay, bye.
Yeah,
he hangs up the phone.
Can I talk to your husband? I'm not married. Oh well. My bad. Let me just go fuck off.
Sitting in
then.
his squad car with a fucking phone book highlighting fucking
right.
people's houses of
Jesus
unmarried women.
Christ.
Dude, it's fucking sick. Literally, just like looking at this guy is just like, this is the weirdest dude that we've ever.
Dude, yeah, he's the other guys. You know, they had some fucked up childhoods. I don't know what this guy saw in Vietnam.
So
know?
So this is real quick in the childhood. Real quick, this is what he said. I don't know if it's true. I don't know if not, but so gosh, I don't have it all written down. But it says that when him and his parents lived, I think in Germany, when they were on an Air Force base or whatever, or a military base of some kind, I think. He said that he saw 2 airmen or like military people rape his 7-year-old sister, but that's just on account of what he said. So I mean, you don't know.
Man,
He could be trying to find excuses.
Could have
and
happened,
reasons.
and it could have, dude. I mean, if you tell yourself lies enough, you'll believe them.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's like part of me never.
Like I believe, I fucking tell myself shit, and it's like, wait, that didn't even.
Because he could be he's a smart dude. He either could just be a mastermind behind trying to set shit up, or his brain could be really fucked up with something else that comes along that I think shows that he, there's a possibility that he has. I mean, he does have mental issues, but he could have more mental issues,
like underlying stuff, like
Right. But I mean, dude, there's so many people that go through that shit and are just normal. I feel like it's there has to be something else that like the more we talk about it outside of head trauma that makes people violent as fuck.
Dude, he fucking probably killed a shit ton of people in fucking Vietnam. Dude. Like, he did fucking like 2 tours in Vietnam. He probably killed a bunch of people.
He could have shot.
Maybe.
He shot that officer.
He was in the Navy though. The Navy just
he
ghosted.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know what they did, but
I mean, the Navy was in like they had a lot of fucking like island hopping kind of shit, you know?
Did they? I don't know.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, the Navy was in a lot of that shit too.
He was in shit. That's why he liked attacking houses near like trenches and stuff, because he just like
felt that
he knew the area. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, that could have been a possible though. I mean, would that would definitely classify as a childhood trauma though, if that happened. Who the hell knows?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know, man.
knows?
But dude, I just like outside of head trauma, like I don't like you got fucking dudes that go through gay conversion camps that come out normal and they're fucking CEOs of companies and they're literally locked in cages, getting sprayed with water, cold water, naked, sprayed in cages. They come out being the CEOs of companies and shit like that. Like
that's all you have
there's
to do to become a CEO of a company?
yeah, you want me to convert you to straight?
No, I just want to be a CEO of a company. If that's all, if you just gotta spray me down naked in a fucking cage.
Like, I'm just saying, like the whole like childhood trauma. Like everyone's got fucked up shit. Like especially nowadays, maybe not as much with kids growing up in the fucking bubble world that they live in.
Oh my
but
God.
A lot, like even fucking us growing up, like we had shit that could, like if I were to.
I mean, everybody's
got fucking
it's got like I feel like it's gotten easier for kids growing up every decade, but still, it's just like to blame it on childhood trauma. Like there has to be
50s,
like
they said the 50s
like
was the
mental
easiest.
illness, yes. Anything outside of mental illness and just being I guess being a sociopath would be a mental illness too. But like blaming it on childhood trauma, like I'm starting to get to the point where the more we talk about it, like where people like
something happened.
Even like Ed Kemp and fucking Ted Bundy and Jeffrey Dahmer are like, study my brain when I'm dead, and hopefully you'll understand why people are like this, so people don't have to be like this anymore. Like shit like that.
What if you're not fucking? What if the consciousness is not in your brain?
I mean, that's where the consciousness
You think so?
is. I mean,
Just because you can see out of your eyes.
Isn't consciousness the? I mean,
that's what all science points to.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know. There's been a few studies done that it's.
I mean, conscious, yeah, like maybe soul or something
you're not
like
just
that.
a fucking a brain piloting a fucking bone.
So you're telling me
body
that
and meat
Post
armor.
Malone Bud Light seltzer commercial isn't factually accurate? Are you fucking? Is this where I'm finding this out?
By
shit.
the
Really
way,
knows,
by the
dude.
way, Dana, thank you for coming in and watching. Love you.
Yeah, what's up, brother?
Appreciate you.
Glad I gave you that extra finger the other day. You know what I'm saying, dude? Ooh.
But yeah, so we're on him, deciding to get these houses, turning to rape, going after women that are alone, that he knows are alone.
Yeah, and so his MO, it's actually like profilers, like people that get paid to profile people, not us yet, fans. But profilers talk about how his method of surveilling his potential victims was almost identical while he was a cop, which was different, but almost identical to the BTK killer, who was a meter reader, like someone that we know. And and so the BTK killer was also doing the same thing, but reading meters. And if they ever got caught, it was just like, oh no, I'm just a servant of the city, like just reading this meter,
Right.
Shit like, and this is like way back in the day, like when they first got electronic meters.
Damn.
And
Dude,
he was spotted several times during his crime spree on the streets surveilling people. And when he was caught in the action of watching people or like surveilling people, if he wasn't in uniform, he would run away. If he was in uniform, he'd be like flashing. He'd be like, "I'm a fucking cop, dude. What do you mean? Why am I watching this house?" And then 3 weeks later, what happens to that house? They either get ransacked or God forbid what else.
Well, that's the weird thing about it. That I mean, I don't know if he was confronted by any of these people, but he was definitely reported going around these houses and looking. So it's like, what fucking kind of cop person who is this clever is going back to fucking houses that you should be getting the reports that people are looking for someone around these houses
because it gives him a high, dude.
I mean, shit. He obviously was he obviously knew what he was doing because he got away with it for fucking God.
Well, they didn't have fucking DNA
40
testing
years
back then.
I mean, I mean that's what I'm saying. Like even when they had once they started doing all these new DNA tests, I mean his
it was in the 90s.
Over.
Like DNA tests weren't until like the 90s.
Yeah, and
up until then, it wasn't even, you weren't even able to be prosecuted off of it. But they would be like, well, you have AB positive blood, and the blood found on the crime scene was AB positive.
Yeah.
So that potentially puts, like, it was circumstantial evidence in that time.
Yeah.
Like he's I think it was 86 was the last crime that he committed was 86.
Yeah.
And that was, I think, 5 years before DNA testing was like found.
Well, because
to be admissible in court.
Was it the Green River killer that they had? That's when when did he get caught? Because I think that's when they said that was even like when they had another new type of DNA
the
testing.
Green River killer. That when they were able to test for blood in his work van, or no, it was
the paint or something.
The paint,
yeah.
Yeah, that guy, that fuckhound.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. He would have been. I don't know. So this guy was operating. I think he was a smart guy. I think he is still a smart guy. I think he's
playing it up,
knowledgeable.
Playing it up.
Oh yeah.
He's knowledgeable. Maybe not the most knowledgeable, but I mean, back in the day, like I feel like today's day and age, you have to be. You couldn't get away with that shit now. There'd be no fucking way.
Nope.
You'd be done. Back then, he obviously showed how easy it was to do that shit. And people are talking about not, being able to have guns in your home. I'm like, fuck that.
Yeah.
I will.
Exactly. But dude, that's the shitty part is they break into your house and I mean, if your gun's fucking X place, dude, how you gonna get to it before they fucking
my idea, I'm not a huge gun pro. I don't have a bunch of guns and shit either, but I think the ideal situation would to be having many secret stashes of guns that I could punch through a piece of drywall and just pull out a 12 gauge. You know what I mean?
Dude, I think that they
just
make
punch
that.
through and you just like rip it out.
Exactly.
Like,
I swear to God, the guy wouldn't even stand around to get shot. Like he sees you just fucking rip a shotgun out of a wall, he's gone.
Well, one of the things that this guy would do, so he would be stalking several homes at once before he decided to target. Once he decided to target, he would break into the house ahead of time, unlock all the windows in the house, and unload every gun that he could find in the house.
No
so
shit.
that so the people that he was assaulting couldn't defend themselves.
Mm-hmm. Imagine that, giving someone a long speech with a shotgun aimed at their head. Now, time to die, motherfucker! and just click after like a 20-minute speech. Like,
and we were talking about earlier about how he would call some of the people and be like, "Hey, is Paul there?" Or "Hey, is so and so there?" And they'd be like, "No, he doesn't live here." Or "No, I don't have a husband."
Right.
And they'd be like, "Oh, okay, sorry, wrong number," and hang up. And sometimes after he had broken into their houses, he would call them and be like, "I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill you," into the phone and fucking hang it up.
God damn.
Yep.
Fucking psychopath.
Fucking crazy, dude.
He eventually, after dealing with single women and stuff, though, it says, I don't know exactly how many rapes of women that he did before.
Oh, I know exactly the case that you're about to talk about, but before he did that, before we jump into that, so he sexually assaulted a girl, and later when he was on duty, saw her working at a Denny's when he was there with his squad partner getting breakfast. And when he saw her working there, she had no idea who he was because he's wearing a mask and shit. Balaclava. Those of you that know my Tarkov life, I'm a fan of balaclavas and Tarkov. But he assaulted this girl and then saw her at her place of work. And then, like on some killer horror movie shit, after knowing where she worked now, repeatedly called her work asking to speak to her. And then was like, when she got to the phone, he's like, "I'm the one that assaulted you last or 2 years." This was 2 years later.
Right.
And he saw her and he was like, "I'm the one that did that to you. Never forget me." Into the phone, hangs it up.
He had an MO. He had
he
wanted to instill fear. That was one thing he said is like he wanted to give fear, and that's like why he wouldn't take shit, and why he would take personal items. Like that shit people won't forget, taking money and shit like that. You can get past that if it's a basic robbery, but if something feels targeted personally, that affects you way more. I would imagine. I mean,
like we talked about, like, what was it, like 8 months ago? We did a whole episode on horror movies that are based on real life shit. And this is something that I've never seen. I've watched a lot of horror movies. I've never seen something outside of, I don't even like, I've never seen that. And it, like,
dude, that's fucking nasty.
That is some fucking
nasty.
Like, fuck me. That is some psycho shit. Like that is like Patrick Bates or Norman Bates, not Patrick Bates. Patrick Bates or
get your shit together, man.
I keep mixing up American Psycho and Psycho. That's Norman Bates shit, but he lets the girl leave and then he fucking calls her. Like, dude.
I don't know, dude.
I'd be afraid. I would be afraid. I literally, 100%. I was watching that documentary about him and I saw that. And that's when I literally had to leave my computer and go hang out with my dog for like 30 minutes to realize that, oh yeah, there is good in the world. Because that just reading, or not even reading, like watching that that fucked my psyche up. Just knowing that someone was capable of doing that.
Dude, he had some he had some shit that just gave me goosebumps. We'll get into it. I don't remember what case it was. I think it was a single mom and her daughter. And after he was done, tying her up, or I don't remember exactly if he knocked her unconscious.
I know what you're talking about.
And he knocked her unconscious or whatever, and her daughter's in the bed next to her. I think he raped her in the bed while her daughter was next to her.
Oh, that's not the one I know you're talking
maybe.
about.
Maybe I can't remember, but it might be.
There was one where the girl knew about she was 13 years old when it happened, or 12.
Is when her mom woke up next to her.
Yeah, they were laying in bed,
and she goes, she's like, "Is that what you're talking about?" She tells her to be quiet.
Yeah,
says he's still here.
No, that's the son that was in the closet. I think that's maybe
the son. No, the daughter was in bed, and the mom comes up.
So there's one story where the daughter, so it's the mom and the daughter, puts him in the same bed, and she knows about the whole plate situation. Oh, we haven't even gotten to the plate situation yet, so we'll say
this is singles. I mean, this is single mom. So I don't know the timeline, but I think she didn't have any man, and maybe he was gone. But
I have a story about the whole when the plates become part of the
right.
That shit is just fucking.
But I mean, the thing about what I was saying with this girl telling her mom to stay shush, this guy rapes her and then waits in the house for hours after that. The mom thinks finally gone, gets gets free, and the daughter looks at her and she's asking her if she's okay, and the daughter's like,
no, he's still here,
and he steps out of the shadows.
He would literally make himself a fucking full course meal in their kitchen.
Oh yeah, I saw that. And ate the leftovers.
Eat at their house.
Just to think that, but think about that. That's how he knew that they weren't going to call.
On Thanksgiving or whatever, he ate their leftover turkey and shit like that at their house.
But bro, think about it. The reason.
That's when he moved to OrangeCounty.
He did that a lot. Though the reason he stayed in the house long afterwards, and he would do that to other people because. You wouldn't, if you thought the guy was still there and shit, you wouldn't call the cops if you thought that the guy was still keeping you held hostage in your bed. If this guy's waiting around and you just are too afraid to leave your bed, it always said he got away. The people who called the cops always called way later because they didn't know, they thought he was still in the house. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's fucking freaky. That's scary as shit. How do you get up out of your bed and leave your room when he's not there, but you just every corner you turn, every room you go into.
Yeah, he would literally hide for a period of time. And some cases he would jump back out and re-attack them.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, he would. Yeah, because you never know when he's there, when he's gone.
They trying to get it off twice or what?
No, he wanted to. I mean, it was smart. I think that was a tactical play on his side to get to attack them. That was cynical, to make them too scared to go to get on a phone.
Because once they were ready to call, he would come back out. Is what you thinking?
No, well, that's what he was thinking. That's why he knew. It said he got away by a lot of time every time before people would call because they were too afraid to call because and that's some smart shit. He would do some other shit too. I don't know if you guys have it in your notes real quick about the shit he would say to him. I don't know if that's more when the husbands are there, but
okay,
you know what I mean?
So the husbands being there is the next point in my notes here okay. So one of the things that made this error in the case so hard to figure out who, whether or not it was the same person, was at first he was attacking women that were home alone. And it changed to attacking women that were home with their husbands. And the turning point is believed to be because of a specific incident where it was a challenge to him. So there was a town hall. I think it was the Washington Times or the Washington Post wrote about it. And there was a string of sexual assaults in the Sacramento area. In this article, they wrote about a town hall meeting where a man stands up and said, the reason these women are being attacked is because they're at home alone. If their husband were there, they would be able to stop the attack.
I think,
and I think everyone knows where this is going.
I actually think that there was some case. I'm not sure, but I thought there was some cases where the husbands actually were, and he said no husband.
There were a lot of cases
where he said the guy standing up said no husband would just stand by as some guy raped their wife.
His wife was the first wife to be raped by DeAngelo while the husband was in the house.
No shit.
Mm-hmm.
His wife was, yes.
So this motherfucker stands up at a town hall meeting to say this guy isn't real. This isn't real. No, no husband would let this happen. And then boom, next one.
That's his wife.
He was sitting somewhere in the
town hall.
Yeah,
in the town hall. He was somewhere there.
He
He had to have been.
And so this guy wakes up to a flashlight shining in his face. Can't see anything other than the light. And he says, your wife is going to tie you up. This is what the court records show, I guess, is he says, your wife is going to tie you up upon my instructions. Then I will tie her up. I will put cups and dishes on your back. If I hear them move, I'm going to kill every single person in this fucking house.
Yep.
And this is where
enter stage left China.
This is where he takes his fucking this is where he takes his plate method from his burglary career to a new fucking level.
Yeah, dude. This is where it got me. Like, dude,
By the way, Nick Maurer, thank you for stopping in. We love you.
You put it on his fucking back, and if he fucking moves and they fucking fall off, you're killing everybody.
That's where I was like, this guy's because the plates on
crazy.
the doors. That's like anyone could really think about that, but putting plates stacked up on someone's like that's genius.
Yeah, and then he would ransack the house like he did in Visalia, cook their food, eat it, drink their beer, and then he left.
That son of a bitch.
My beer.
That bastard. My beer.
Like DeAngelo was so sick. Like he punished the citizen that broke his MO. Like the citizen, like it was like a challenge.
Oh
like,
yeah.
He punished the person that challenged his MO.
Hello, Emma. Welcome to the podcast today. Thank you for joining us.
But it's like he literally, like the guy just stood up. He's like, no one's going to address this. I'm going to tell you it's because the husband's not home. That's why these women are being attacked. And then he's like, well, you're fucking next.
So, Emma, I don't know if you were there for that last part, but basically someone stood up, said he wasn't a real killer, like husbands wouldn't let their wives kill, and then basically his wife is the next one to...
He wasn't killing at that point. He was just raping.
Or raping. But he did kill. I mean, he wasn't...
Person.
Yeah. Two. Was it one? Two. Because
it was just one person at that point. His second and third murder are in Sacramento a year later.
What? Thought he killed that cop though, didn't he?
The cop was the first. The cop didn't die.
Claude
Van
Shitzen
Damme.
or whatever the fuck his name was.
He didn't die?
No, he died. It was the guy who was trying to abduct his daughter on his Huffy bike. That's the first person he killed. The second person is second and third person are.
Wait, what about that? Wait, he did kill the cop.
No, he did not kill the cop.
The cop didn't die.
No, the flashlight blew up in his hand.
That's okay. That's what I thought.
Okay.
That's what I was. Sorry, I was very.
Thought maybe shrapnel hit him in the eyes. I don't know.
No, I forgot. Yeah, I totally couldn't remember that if he killed the cop or not. But yeah, he didn't want to kill at first. Like a few serial killers.
He got a little fucking... I don't know. Fuck. It's just weird to think, man. How many, like, especially in, like, I don't know, Vietnam probably fucked him up. That's all I can think, man.
Oh, probably. I mean, there's a lot of documented stories about American soldiers pillaging and raping in Vietnam.
Exactly. That's probably where he got it from. And that's kind of what I'm thinking, like, dude, weird connection. What if fucking he was fucking, what's his name's uncle?
Ricky Ramirez?
Yep, it was Ricky Ramirez.
Well, the only problem is that he's not full-blown Hispanic.
I mean...
Unless Ricky Ramirez is in blackface or brownface, I don't know.
Well, what if his mom was fucking Mexican? And what if he was, like,
Well, all
estranged-
his kids are white.
estranged uncle from I don't know.
Oh,
What if he's
sorry,
just a fucking friend
Wait,
of fucking
I'm pretty sure we named his cousin that exposing
pretty
all that
sure
shit.
his name was Mike, wasn't it?
Maybe
I think so. Cousin Mike or cousin Eddie. I don't know.
not cousin Lenny.
No.
Cousin Lenny would not let that shit fly.
No, not at all.
Cousin Lenny would be like, "No, that's a terrible plan."
But dude, like, what if they were in the fucking service together? What if his uncle and fucking
Very highly unlikely that they were in the
it
service
happened.
together.
It happened.
I doubt. Well, because Richard Ramirez's cousin was an Army Green Beret, if I remember right.
Yeah, I can't.
And then this guy was a Navy. He was just a Navy sailor. Like he wasn't.
It wasn't shit.
He was. I'm pretty sure he was too tall to even be a pilot back then. He was like 5'11". Nah, he could have been a pilot back then.
Ricky.
So we have what he's banging. He's banging these wives while he's husbands. Now he's starting to get into that. He's starting to.
So as the East Area rapist, he eventually commits 2 murders. It was a couple on February 22nd, 1978. Brian and Kate Meteori. They were out walking their dog, and they were in an area where 5 attacks have previously happened that year. And a confrontation breaks out between DeAngelo and the husband, Brian. And the couple takes off running. And during the chase, DeAngelo shot them both dead in the street.
God damn.
And they know it was him because he dropped a knotted restraint in the chase back in the park where he confronted them. And looking back at his nicknames, guess what it was? It was a Diamond Knot, the Diamond Knot Killer.
They're all
or the Diamond Knot Rapist, whatever the fuck they called him.
Is that because when he would have sex with them, he'd knot up like a dog does?
No, it's a sailor knot that basically it becomes a zip tie when you. So you can make it out of like a shoelace or a rope.
That's what he used. Hella shoelaces.
Yeah,
his primary fucking.
It basically like hog ties someone.
I wish someone would hog tie me.
You just put it over their whatever, pull it shut.
Sometimes you just want to get hog tied,
like a slip knot. But
I think I know how to do that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go home later and ask someone to hog tie me when I get home. I'm gonna look at Emma and say, "Do you ever thought about trying hog tying?"
So after this, he committed 3 more rapes in the area and moved on to different area, California. One of the last attacks that he committed, he calls the police and tells them the street that he was about to commit the attack on, the day that he was going to commit the attack on that street. And they find him, but he gets away.
God damn, he's slippery.
So why... This almost
like say that again. He did
he called himself into the police. He's like, I'm gonna attack a house on San Francisco Boulevard tonight.
Right.
I am the person that you're looking for. And he does it. The police almost catch him, but he gets away.
Swiper, no swiping.
So do you think that he would do that because he wants to be caught and stopped and he can't control himself? Which he probably not, because he was at large for 40 years and he did stop in 86. But like, why the fuck would he do that? Was it just a test on?
Well, you see him going from single women.
He wanted the fucking
adrenaline.
He wasn't getting the fucking juices no more.
The adrenaline. I'm smarter than you guys, and I can get away with anything. And guess what? He fucking got away with it. Like no more. I'm telling you, this guy is fucking. His brain is working. He's got a. I think his brain has to be a fucking. That's why I think of the court cases, man. When he sounds like an old fucking idiot, like. Guilty. No, I feel like he doesn't look that old.
No, he doesn't 74.
He doesn't look old at all to be talking like that. He go every time he'd stutter and be like, guilty. like I don't know if his lawyers told. I feel like he told his lawyers he should do that. They were like, "Damn, that's a dope ass idea, son. We should be paying you, homie."
So after that escape, he moves to SoCal. So in 1979, October 1979 to May 18 or 19, fucking Jesus Christ, he's a time traveler. So from October 1979 to May 1986, he is active in Southern California. This is where he was proactively named the original Night Stalker because they took it away from our boy Richie, or later known as the Golden State Killer.
Yeah,
that's where he got. Those are the years that he got that name.
Golden State Killer. That's way better name.
Yeah, that's like up there. Up there with Son of Sam,
yeah,
Jack the Ripper.
It sucks that
I love it.
It sucks that you. Yeah, I know. It's like we talk about stop giving these guys cool names, but it's like, God damn it, they're cool. Fuck.
We just need some superheroes.
Yeah. Like we only have bad guys. Where's our God, what was that one? There was some like Iran guy or something that they called like some fucking like superhero name or some or maybe not Iran. I can't remember.
Talking about like pro wrestling? Or?
No, like
I was gonna say like the Iron Sheik.
Like in their army, they had like a soldier that they like sounded like a superhero. I can't remember the name. It's been too long, but they gave him he had like a superhero name, and I'm like, that's the fuck who we need over here. You know, we don't have any superheroes over here.
No, not at all.
I mean, we might. I don't trust anyone. So anyway, if you have power in America, any power at all, I don't know. I don't trust you.
So the only survivors of his attacks in Southern California. So this is where he went from 3 murders to 13 murders and just a bunch more sexual assaults. I'm tired of saying rape. I'm over it already today. Sexual assaults. That's all I'm going to say.
I don't know, dude. Once you kill one person, you can't stop.
So the only survivors were the first couple that he attacks in Southern California. They were in Santa Barbara County. So he sticks to his usual MO. He ties them up and he leaves the room, and they naturally start screaming their fucking heads off like any normal person fucking would if you're hogtied in your bed.
Right.
And the wife of the couple gets loose and runs out the front door into the front yard and falls like it's fucking Scary Movie. Just trips and falls. And he runs out the front door and starts dragging her back into the house. One problem, their next door neighbor is an FBI agent. And so he steps out on the front porch and yells, scaring DeAngelo, who already shrieks every time a cop yells at him.
Yep.
That's pride. And so this is where he gets back on his goddamn bicycle and starts riding away.
It's quiet, dude. It's like a Prius back in the day.
Yeah. So FBI dude jumps in his car and starts chasing after him, but somehow DeAngelo is able to lose him, ditches his bike in the woods, and runs away on foot. Typical fucking Golden State Killer shit.
Yep.
But oh my God. Like,
they didn't have fingerprints back in the day?
I don't know if they ever found his bicycle. They definitely had fingerprints. That's how they got people back.
I was like, how did they not find his bicycle then? God damn.
Do you guys, another thing kind of from his past while he was doing this, they said that some of the victims heard him saying stuff about like, I hate you, Bonnie, and stuff, which is his first fiance that he had, who ended up breaking up with him, which is another thing I think that he blamed some of his hatred on. But
one of the reasons that he moved to SoCal is because he got murdered. And then he moved to Southern California, and he was like, didn't do anything for 6 months. He was like, I got to go out there and fucking.
Why didn't he just go and fucking, whoa.
That's
audio issues.
But I mean, that could have been,
Why didn't he just go kill Bonnie? That's what I would have done.
I mean, think about it. That's what when
It's
we
too
talked
obvious,
about,
dude.
Yeah, but when we talked about the one killer, what was his name? The really, was it Ed? The fucking
Ed
6
Kemp?
foot, Ed Kemp didn't get released from killing people until he finally killed his fucking mom of a bitch, and then stuck his dick inside of her decapitated head. Iramatio. But if you guys don't know what iramatio it is, it's forcing someone's head onto your cock.
When they're decapitated, right?
It doesn't have to be.
Oh no,
decapitated.
it's just face fucking.
But he took it too.
Yeah,
There needs to be
it's
face
mouth
fucking. Face
Oh,
fucking.
see, that's I would have thought it was the other way.
No, the decapitation. I think doing that should maybe have a name of its own. But I don't want to even like iramatio. It's too cool.
It's forcing your cock down someone's esophagus.
It could be. It doesn't have to be like it could be wanted. You can have.
I guess you can do it.
They don't have to be dead.
You can have consensual iramatio. Okay.
Yeah, I've
Like,
seen
like,
it.
yeah,
that's
yeah.
a lot.
I always thought they had to be dead.
Just Google Riley Reid and you'll see iramatio.
Yeah.
Well, she's so teeny, she has to.
Yeah, iramatio, man. It can be beautiful. It can be dark. There's a whole other world behind that.
So, yeah, but he to be nearly apprehended by the FBI agent and think, man, I can do better next time.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy.
Holy shit. And Michael touched on this instance earlier. So December 30th, 1979, Dr. Offerman and Dr. Manning were found shot dead at Dr. Offerman's condo in Goleta, California. Neighbors did report later hearing gunshots, but fully ignored it because they attributed it to being none of their fucking business.
I mean, as they should.
They believed that he brought a dog to the scene because there were giant paw prints on the crime scene, and during that's where he left or he ate their leftover turkey and shit.
Bro, what if he was a fucking werewolf?
I was gonna say I was gonna
He's
say
a lichen, dude.
I was gonna say Sasquatch, but fuck,
He's a Sam Squatch.
a werewolf,
Squatch.
yeah, a Sam Squatch, dude.
So during the attack where he murdered the two doctors in the condominium, it's a condo, by the way, so it's attached to someone else's fucking house, and the people next door didn't fucking call the cops when they heard people being murdered.
Bro, so listen to this. I hear gunshots all the time at my house.
In the country.
Yeah, that's a normal thing. I hear
in a condo.
I go out to the country to my parents, and I hear
in the
a
middle
cannon
of
get
a
shot
town
off,
in California.
I guess you're right.
But because they didn't call the cops, he had time to break into two other condos, up to his regular hijinks of rearranging the living room, and steal a motherfucking bicycle, and he left on the bicycle that he stole.
Do you think when
how are you gonna fucking walk a dog on a bicycle? Why do they think there's a dog there when he leaves on a fucking bicycle?
Does this guy? I'm sorry, but does this guy have a keen eye for interior design? Is that why he's just like standing there like about to steal stuff? And he's like, I just think there should be more spacing between the TV and the couch. I'm gonna move this back a couple feet, okay?
Definitely what it was.
I don't like that coffee table.
Mind.
That coffee table's ugly. I'm gonna shatter it.
It blows my goddamn mind.
So did you guys? One of the things I ought to talk about, I thought it was kind of funny. Not really funny, but I mean clever as fuck. Is when he's doing his acts on these people. Some of the things he would say to them to throw them off balance. Like fucking, I fucking love it. When he would go into a house before he would go to the victim, he'd go into their wallet and find their driver's license. So then when he went up to them, he could say their name to make it think like it was a personal attack. Like they knew, so it was someone they knew that was doing it to him. If he saw a boat outside someone's house, he'd go in there and say something about seeing them at the lake. And saying how he saw them at the lake, and this is why I'm doing it to you. he called cops pigs since he was a cop to try and throw him off the trail. And then he said, you know, he would say, "Don't tell the cops about my van." So that way they thought he was because he was always on a bicycle. So he'd say, "Don't tell
Always
him
on a fucking bicycle,
so,
bro.
yeah, so he's like,
Goddamn
don't tell him about my van." And then the other one I thought of was him when he was probably having sex with these women is saying, "I'm just sticking my finger inside of you." That way they didn't know that he had a really small dick and would be able to find him. He didn't actually say that, but I'd imagine him having to come up with some reason for him having a really small penis. So
Just like him, like sexually assaulting a girl, and she's like, "Is it in yet?"
Wait, that hasn't happened to you guys?
I don't know.
No, I've never sexually assaulted someone.
Yeah, that's it.
I've had someone ask, "Is it in yet?" But no.
I just thought that was funny. I was like, man, like that literally, like that would have been the best one. That would have been his best thing to say is, "I'm shoving my fingers instead of
It's my
using my
pinky."
dick." Because literally, that's how. I mean, that's not how he got caught, but he definitely got known for having a small Johnson. I would have just lied and I don't know.
Dude, that was
It's
my
my thumb,
finger,
bitch.
That was my finger the whole time. I swear.
It just
I can't get over the bicycle thing though. Like that.
Was it a 10 speed? Was it a Huffy?
No,
was
dude,
it a BMX bike?
Like
Like,
you're
mountain bike,
in
bro.
major towns in fucking California, and you're riding away from fucking rape scenes on a
Dude,
Huffy.
they got a lot of hills in California, though. So it's like, bro.
I mean, but what happens when you're on a bike and you get so far away from a crime scene? You hit that point where if anyone even saw someone on a bike, let alone they won't even know it's them, by the time that they were actually told, and he's on a bike 2 hours later, fucking, you know how far you can get on a bike in 2 hours?
Nobody saw him on his bike. Dude, he probably fucking planted his bike fucking.
That FBI agent
blocks
saw him
down.
on his bike.
He probably planted his bike 2 blocks down and fucking like booked it to his fucking bike. Jumped on that
that's
shit.
what they would say is he would.
So he didn't just like ride up to the house and
Right.
dump his bike in the front yard,
Yeah.
like
a
you
kid.
do when you go to your friend's house.
You just like roll
Hey,
off of
can
it.
Tyler come play?
You just like get up to the house, roll off it, let it run like into the
You
bushes,
know,
and you
ghost
just
ride that
fucking
thing.
burst through the door. All right, let's get this going.
Let's get this cup stacking competition going on. Let's go. Get your dad on the bed. Get your dad on the fucking bed.
Dude, that's yeah, dude. That could be a movie. I swear we've had some movies of some serial killers, but I've never seen a movie of a serial killer that was like
Riding a
that.
fucking
Dude, running
Haro.
a fucking Huffy.
We said we want the Night Stalker movie because the ending would just be amazing.
I think there is one. I think there is a Night Stalker movie.
Oh yeah, maybe we talked about that.
So
I
they still have
fucking
that
hope
fucking
so.
rule that you gotta fucking wait like 10 years.
Yeah.
Oh damn, we gotta wait 10 years from 2018.
No, fuck this guy.
2028, we're producing it.
Yeah, we already called it TM.
Dude, this
That's not how it works, Michael.
Oh fuck.
you have to file for that. You just say trademark.
Oh god damn.
I don't know, man. That's
Son of a bitch.
I just imagine him like once he like leaves these houses and people are chasing him, he just gets on his bike and starts riding as fast as he can. All of a sudden there's all these like dirt jumps and he just starts BMXing while he's like riding away doing like backflips and shit. I don't know.
We gotta get what the fuck is that dude?
Tony Hawk.
No, it was an unlockable thing in the Tony Hawk game though. It was a BMX game that you get and you'd play at school in Tony Hawk 2. Do you guys not remember that?
I think I remember seeing videos of it.
If you unlocked enough secret tapes, like if you hit every secret tape in every level.
I never got that far.
Oh, really? I played it once. What the fuck was David Hoffman?
Yeah,
David Hoffman. David Hoffman BMX.
David Hoffman was the BMX dude back in the day.
Yeah, I remember me and Andrew unlocked it, and we like it was the dumbest game ever. It was like triangle controlled one fucking wheel and X controlled another wheel, but it was like before skate mechanics were like good.
Yeah,
and it's just the worst game ever. Anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about. But yeah. Plus, we still haven't hit the word of the day, or maybe we have.
America.
We just missed it.
So,
But I have a lot more, or a little bit more. So there's one killing that was huge in California legislation anyway. Not necessarily like statewide legislation, or not state by state legislation, but California legislation is so the Golden State Killer killed Keith and Patrice Harrington on August 19th, 1980. Patrice was a nurse at UC Irvine. Sorry. I read that like I was playing League of Legends for a second. And then, or maybe I did just type it backwards, whatever. But Keith was a medical student at UC Irvine, and DeAngelo is following his old, playing technique. But whether or not they moved with the plates on his back and the cups on top, they didn't move, but he shot them both to death, or he shot her and then bludgeoned him to death.
Was that the one with the, I know they said that, I don't know if it was one occasion or another occasion, but
it was every time outside. Once he moved to Southern California, the only two people that survived were the first two.
It was, they said one of the, I can't remember if it was one or multiple, but they said that he used a log from the fireplace, even like just to bludgeon the husband, I think. He would shoot the wife and bludgeon the husband while he was tied up. And he would use something from the house to bludgeon, like he wouldn't bring something. Right. He didn't bring a billy club or anything like that. The only thing he brought with him was a gun. It's kind of like Richard Ramirez, right? That was right. Just grabbing, like saying, like, "Fuck this!" They got a whole house full.
Yeah, smashing people's heads in with lamps and shit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like they're getting.
That's why they changed Richard Ramirez from being the Night Stalker to being the second Night Stalker.
The second, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Sucks to be you.
When
Ricky.
was, by the way, just out of curiosity, it's been when was Ted Bundy? What years are we talking about with him? I can't remember. 90, was it 90s, 80s, 90s, 80s?
It was 80s.
I think so.
Yeah.
100% was 80s.
But yeah, okay. So the reason this
because even Ted Bundy used a log that he found outside of the dorm room house or something to go blood. Like he was like, I don't need nothing. Like, you see this? This how you kill someone, okay? On a budget. This is a budget. This is a budget run, okay?
You see how many things we got in here?
Cost 65 cents.
I mean, you say AJ's about to, next person who walks in here, AJ's gonna fucking cut him in half with a guitar. Like,
a couple guitars. We got Jonesy Bonesy over here.
His name is Steve.
Steve the skeleton. I'll grab him by his ankle. Just fucking. I'll knock someone unconscious with our fucking
basically a
Steve.
big pair of nunchucks. Really.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Fucking nunchuck him underneath.
It's like it's like a four
you got a lot of shit to grab on.
Right, exactly.
But yeah, no, this case with the Harringtons is so important because his older brother, after the murder, spent, I think it was $2 to $3 million endorsing legislation, which led to he spent $2 to $3 million supporting Proposition 69, which 69 which is he supported to potentially find his brother's killer. Proposition 69 in California is the mandatory DNA database where they extract DNA samples from everyone convicted of a felony in California. And
they do that in Iowa too.
Yeah. And it's mandated now. And it's this one, the reason a lot of serial killers have been found is because of this murder. Is basically what I'm trying to get.
So sorry,
I can't find the words because my notes.
You said the step brother or the brother-in-law of who? The
older brother of Keith Harrington.
Yeah, okay, right.
Yeah.
Queef Richards.
Queef Richards.
Squirt Reynolds.
Hey, you want to find me on Tarkov? It's your boy Squirt Reynolds. But yeah, no, it's that one murder might have been the deciding factor on whether or not that bill got passed, which, depending on what side of the legal system you're on, you might support or dis-support that, unsupport it. I don't know what the word is.
I think it's
You might
good
agree
idea.
or disagree. I think
I'm taking DNA. Fuck yeah, I'm sorry.
No, I don't like that.
What do you mean?
So any felony?
I mean, sure, as long as you're not using brutality and
Dude,
I think it should be any violent crime.
Yeah, any violent crime, dude. Because you can
Maybe not-
get
yeah,
you can
yeah.
get a felony
Right,
for
right.
fucking like.
yeah, I'm not saying like I don't think if you get charged with like selling drugs or
Dude,
something,
yeah,
you
'cause that
should
could
get
be a-
yeah. Like what are you gonna do? You see a rape crime, you're like, maybe it was the guy who was selling an ounce of weed last week or so. You know,
Exactly,
like yeah,
you're in the system now. You know.
right. But I mean, like as long as things are done, you know, just and fair, and it's like I don't think that should. I don't know,
dude.
like.
Just in
shouldn't-
fair in America doesn't
Fuck
really
them
happen a
bootlicking
lot.
Right,
hobos,
that's what I'm
bro.
saying.
Yeah.
It's like the reason that sucks is because they could use whatever evidence that like they could tamper with. They have tampered with evidence. I mean,
Yeah.
shit, like you could do whatever you want. So what does it even matter? But I mean, I think it's a good. If I was in charge of a place and I knew these people did something bad, I'd be first thing I'd be thinking of is keep track of them. Am I gonna fuck with them? Like I'm gonna watch them. I'm not gonna fuck with them.
I mean,
If it's real.
After you
thing-
do your time, you've done your time.
The thing where it gets like I agree with both sides of the argument, but the thing where it gets
I'd still watch them.
the thing where it gets sketchy is when, so you know, like statute of limitations for felonious crimes are like on average probably 10 years. So say you leave DNA evidence on something you did when you were 13. If you get arrested when you're 23, you do a cheek swab and it shows that you did a felony crime when you were 13 years old. Are you being charged as a 13-year-old or a 23-year-old? I think that's where it needs to be kind of ironed down. But like I agree with both.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I agree with both sides of the argument. But I mean, like you gotta.
That's fucked up. That's fucked up.
You gotta iron out the statutes,
Right? Yeah,
limitations, with that kind of shit.
Their system is not what we're thinking works. There's parts and pieces of the system that would work if they didn't fucking have control over it. You know what I'm saying?
Fuck the police.
Like in
and all
today,
that
well,
bullshit.
in like today's episode, we're thinking about it how this system helped catch serial killers. But in reality, how many people did it lock up for some random bullshit they did when they were
Exactly.
teenagers?
Well, and even some
But-
random bullshit. Like, I mean, God, yeah, like, yeah, it could be used. It could be used badly. Not like we want to
Like
use
if
this,
someone lit a playground on fire and you had a paper cut and they found a little droplet of blood on a fucking wood chip and they ran it back, and then 13 years later you're charged with felony arson when you get an OWI. So instead of spending a day in jail,
So they're actually doing that.
Yeah,
like I
dude.
didn't.
So,
Yeah.
so say you fucking move around a bunch of fucking stuff and flip over a bunch of stuff in a playground, you know, and
Mhm.
but it has also helped catch a lot of.
yeah, like, you know,
I mean, I think it's good, but yeah, doing it that way is. I mean, if you're underage, it's. I mean,
Even
I think
so,
it's
dude.
in a world where we need. I think at this point, our world, whether or not we want to punish people, I think we need more help than we do punishment. You know what I mean? Like we need more mental help as a country than we do fucking
Less Facebook, more help.
Right.
Yeah.
Like punishing people, I get it. Like I don't want a psychopath running around either. I don't want someone who likes burning shit either. But I mean, fuck, like there's a different way of helping people mentally sometimes than there is just disciplining, and all we look at in this country is disciplining. You do something wrong, you act out, instead of getting help, you get sent to a school
So what we
where
should
you
do-
meet all these other fucking kids that are, you know, bad children. And
we should if somebody does something bad, we should put them in a room.
And have a nun
And-
smack the fuck out of them.
Nope, we should put them in a room with fucking like a bunch of fucking tapestries and shit, and fucking put them in there with a bunch of fucking
Make them eat mushrooms.
mushrooms. Yep, make them eat mushrooms and have a fucking trip.
That'd be
And it
A
would fucking
fun way to make
it would
people
kill-
deal with shit.
it would kill their ego. It would kill everything that they fucking think that they fucking are about, pretty much.
So yeah, so my next main bulletin in this episode is where I'm really hoping you guys hit the word of the day.
America.
It's not America. You've said that before. God damn it. So he killed 10 people when he lived in Southern California and 3 people in Northern California, which is what we know of, which is accredited to the Golden State Killer. Might be more, might be less, depending on fucking rogue people coming in and doing shit. I don't know.
You're right.
But there are definitely 2-month oh shit. I just read that wrong. I was gonna say I feel like at this point I need to explain NorCal, because I've said NorCal and SoCal multiple times. That means Northern California and Southern California.
I thought it was the other way around.
Yeah. I just felt like I needed to explain that because there might be 1 or 2 mouth breathers that come across this.
Like
mouth breathers?
SoCo is
You're talking about the same thing as window lickers.
SoCo, Southern Cal, and also Southern Comfort.
Yeah.
But SoCo. Bro.
Okay, so during the investigation of the 42nd attack in Danville, California, investigators discovered 3 sheets of notebook paper where a suspicious vehicle had been parked. And although there was no association with the East Street rapist, it was weird to the investigators that it was there. And the first sheet was an essay on General George Armstrong Custer.
An essay?
Yeah. The second sheet had a journal entry, and it was on front and back from a 6th grade teacher, abusive teacher, which was referred to as Mad is the World. I keep wanting to say
he left that at a crime scene?
Yeah.
I read about that.
So at this point, he wasn't thinking for himself.
His 6th grade teacher made him write. He talked during class, so his 6th grade teacher made him write about 100 or 150 sentences of the same phrase over and over again. And they said in his diary, which he called it God damn, I can't remember what he called it, but he wrote how this bitch pissed me off. Goddamn, this bitch right here made me write all this shit, and he tried to later blame that was the reason. Like that's what I'm saying. Like he tries to use that as a reason as well. Like he's trying.
Teacher makes you write things over and over again. What is it called,
bro? If we could
I wrote down Bart Simpson's in my notes.
Bart
I was
Simpson?
like, no, Bart. Like you know, the beginning of every show of The Simpsons, Bart's writing like his fucking 100th fucking sentence out in chalk.
What's it called?
What's what called?
We have to write shit over and over again for punishment.
Fucking discipline. Discipline.
No, dude, my fucking teacher
for punishment. Something.
I feel like this is about to be the fucking word of the day.
No, it's not. Shut up and just guess words. The repetitive punishment of writing shit down
on the
would
chalkboard.
Come on, chat. Come on, people in the YouTube chat, help us out. What fucking? I don't think me and Michael are smart enough this time.
I'm fucking half a retard,
so we get fucking writing shit down over punishment or what? Punishment, repetitive.
Hit me in the fucking face with a ruler, you piece of shit, man.
AJ's smile is too much. I can't stop thinking. Oh God.
I don't know.
Do I just say the word?
No, hell no. You don't get to. Clue us in.
You gotta give little clues, bro. You gotta give little clues.
When you say we're close, we just go farther away.
Clues, bro.
It's not a stripe, but it's a.
It's not a stripe.
Think of like a referee shirt. What's the pattern on
Checker?
it? Like a soccer referee. What's the pattern on a soccer referee shirt?
Black and white stripes.
Yeah, but they're not stripes. They're
Strikes?
like it's a yellow blank running down his shirt. Not a stripe, but
Dude, I'm fucking
Flag?
confused.
Wait, what?
I'm confused as fuck.
Dana
bro.
says lines! Lines! Dana on our YouTube channel. Guess the word of the day.
Attaboy!
That
It's a
means-
YouTube channel.
That means
yes.
that's our first YouTube comment
is.
word of the day.
That is our first
thing.
YouTube comment word of the day.
That means everyone has
means
to
Dana
take
said
a
Dana,
shot.
that means you need to take a shot. Our YouTube comment of the
for those of
day.
you new to the show, there's a random word
Hell yeah.
that relates to the subject matter at hand. That when one of the boys says it, if I'm paying attention, I play that cue and we all take a shot. Today is brought to you by Jim Beam Apple, not sponsored, but
could be.
but should be. Yeah, it's a very full one.
No, I just got attacked.
These are very full.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
Crapples.
Don't
Cheers
hit
to
too hard.
lines.
Bang, bang, baby.
Cheers, Dana.
Mm.
Yes. Haha.
But yeah, there's literally like people out there.
Yum.
There's people out there that are like, this guy only did what he did because he was abused in elementary school and shit. Like, I'm just like we were talking about earlier. Like, I'm starting to get to the point where the more we look into these people, it's like, no.
You know how many people got fucked in the head by, let's say,
No, see, I think it was because of Vietnam, bro. That's what I think. I think he did a bunch of weird shit in Vietnam.
Oh fuck! I forgot to tell you guys what was on the third page of his notebook that got left outside of the crime scene. It
Did he
was
just have dicks, drawings of dicks, weird dicks, big dicks,
just a bunch of dicks.
dicks with,
Just a
dicks
veiny
with veins in
motherfucker.
it. Yeah.
You know what kind of fucking food that's shaped like dicks? All the good kinds. Bomb pops, bananas. No, the third page was called so the second page was called the where the fuck? I lost my spot in my notes. Mad is the World is what they call the second page. And that was front and back the same. Like it was like
Wait,
a pair.
Mad
It was,
is the World. Is that the title of his notes?
that's
God.
the title of the one note, and it's a paragraph about how he hated his life in sixth grade, and then it's just his lines over all the way down the page, and then all the way down the back of the page, and then the third page that was left behind is called the Punishment Map, and it was a map identified, or it was unidentified, to be a specific place. And that had crude drawings of architectural specific areas where he had previously committed crimes.
Mrs. Sally House here. Me with AR here.
It was like a gas station right here. 10 houses over.
All right, and we're about to get into the dick of this episode, and it's going to be the end of it too, I think. So on April 24th, 2018,
Ooh.
the Sacramento Police Department arrested 72-year-old. So this 2 years. So he's 74 now. I was just guessing earlier because I was just going off the top of my head. I was right the whole time, but he was caught using genealogy websites.
It was not him, actually.
No, yeah, and I got further into that. So Detective Holes, Captain Holes, whatever the fuck we were calling him earlier, we were joking about him being.
Here's the whole story.
When Captain Holes broke the whole case.
Holes.
But yeah, he. So Holes, he used a site called GED Maps, which is where it gets even scarier as far as government outreach goes to like these private companies. So someone that he was related to did 23andMe, and it matched, I think it was like 45% of the DNA match of the confirmed Golden State Killer. And so the site goes to 20 different matches that were related to that person, They went to their great grandparents, and then they created a family tree using employee records at the time and something called a gravesite locator. Narrowed it down to him and one other person. And this process took 4 months. So old dude Hole is now 5 months away from his retirement after his 4-month investigation. When he launched this investigation,
well, didn't you say? I mean, he was on the force for that long, or
before he got this break in the investigation, he was 9 months away from retiring, working 24 years on this one case.
He's at least 60 years old.
Yeah, but he's hot, dude. He's fucking hot.
Banging.
Dude, Mr. Hole can fill my fucking hole.
What's up, dude? We're gonna find you at CrimeCon next year, dude.
Wow.
But this guy, like, he 5 months away from retiring at this point. Then his investigation team starts surveilling him, and he literally throws something away in the mall, and they pick it out of the trash can, run his DNA, boom, 100% match to 23 cases.
It was a snot rag.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on, say that again. What?
He throws away a rag at the mall, and investigators pick it out of the trash bin, and then I think it was a week later arrested him.
Yep.
Because damn, son.
They were able to 100% match his DNA because they got a warrant to obtain his DNA without without detaining him. I think was what it was. Or they were able to obtain his DNA without detaining him. And they had a 45% match, and he was the only person with that fucking gene line in that area that was in the same area as all these crimes happening at the time.
Bro. And did you guys hear?
Bro, you're basic.
Did you hear where the fuck he got arrested at?
Yeah, from his granddaughter's house, wasn't it?
No. So
I thought it was from his job, I thought.
No. Well, so the house that he was living at was at the place where he first attacked the first victim he ever attacked.
Really?
Wait, his what?
His first victim?
His first victim. He was living in that same neighborhood.
His first assault victim, or his first?
I think it said his first rape victim. He was living in the same.
Well, it makes sense if it was in Sacramento.
He was living in.
How long was he? Do we know how long he was living in his home? Is that why that was his first?
The only thing I saw about his arrest is that his daughter and granddaughter were there when he got arrested.
That's what I heard too. Do we know what his daughter's like? Do we have pictures? I was gonna look it up, and I honestly didn't have time to look up pictures. They said
he's been living there years and shit like that. They said nobody fucking suspected a thing because he was just that old guy. Why you mowing your lawn at 7 a.m. kind of thing, you know? And that's
where I wonder though, where in a thought process of when you're a kid, your brain is not, you haven't had a fair chance to be adult and really realize what the fuck you're doing. Same thing sometimes when I think you get to a point where you are older, where even if you are able to pull off a persona of seeming like you are functioning correctly, there's no doubt your brain starts to deteriorate, and you can seem, just like when you're drunk, you can seem perfectly fine. But that's because I think with some old people that I've seen too, and when I see my grandparents a lot, I think some of these old people are really good at acting like they're okay, but they're not mentally.
Yeah.
But
because old people are drunk people.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, they are, man.
Basically, yeah.
Deteriorate, yeah, Dana. It's like that's what I'm like wondering. Like, I'm scared. Like, I want to judge this guy. Like, I do judge him for what he's done. But I think for your whole life you deserve to live with your punishments. But I think when you hit like a certain age of dementia, I want there to be science to be able to, like, because if old people get to a point where they're not the same, if you're not a killer, like if you're old and your brain, I wish you could tell. Because if you're old and you're just like, I don't know who that guy was, that's not me. Like, I know, like, I did that shit, but like,
No, that
I don't
doesn't
know.
matter, bro.
I just want
You
old,
did that
I
shit.
want to know
It
whether or
don't
not
matter.
old people in jail. I want to know whether or not they're being held accountable for crimes they know they committed versus crimes that they did commit. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Exactly. If they know,
Which I mean, like, if you get a
So
life
what do you do
sentence,
at that
it's
point?
well, no, I'm just saying, like, I want to know, like, I'm not saying release old people from jail. I'm just saying I want to know if they understand why the fuck they're there.
that's what I'm
You
saying.
put them in a fucking
That's what I'm
mental
saying.
house then?
Yeah, and I think that should be. I thought about it. I'm like,
well,
there
they
should
disbanded
be,
those in like the 60s.
but it
didn't they?
doesn't. It could be a retirement home for people
No,
who are
fucking
prison.
Independence
I guess,
gone, bro.
yeah, Independence.
It
still
could be
does run
there's
long.
in my mind there should be for people who've done shit who become older. You don't know how their minds are. I would create. I'd be scared to do this, but I'd create
we should go to
a
Independence.
home. You know, like an old folks home. I create an old folks home for them, and the only thing you'd have to watch out for is other, serial killer old people going and killing the other old people. But that would be very hard. For them.
That would be fucking weird.
Well,
though.
the whole thing about, like, the reason that they were able to get that DNA sample from 23andMe is because the FBI is involved with 23andMe.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they run DNA databases through the FBI system. And that's where, like, this, like, mainly the whole reason I wanted to do this guy when we didn't know that he was going to testify today was because it ties in.
We've been talking about this guy
for a while.
long time.
Yeah, we've been
for
talking about it
sure.
forever. We've been talking about the 23andMe scandal
Mm-hmm. Yo.
around this guy. That's mostly the amount of time that we spent talking about him was the 23andMe scandal.
So I've heard a lot of things about that 23andMe. The weirdest kind of conspiracy I guess I've heard about it is that they're looking for the fucking bloodline.
Probably. I don't know.
Instead of DNA, they're looking at what?
They're looking for the bloodline of Jesus Christ, pretty much.
That's why they started their Christian-run company looking for the fucking
Christian-run company funded by the FBI.
They actually are a Christian-run company. So
trying to find the next Jesus Christ.
No,
our
like
president.
Well,
this is Jesus Christ. You're not gonna let Jesus Christ's fucking reincarnation be our president? Are you kidding? I could totally see that being in like 2050. I'm sorry,
dude. Let's do it. Let's put it in the fucking.
Maybe we get to it first, and
that's like some Da Vinci Code shit.
We say AJ's. We hit it before they do.
AJ's kind of have Roman just like Jesus.
Just because I have black curly hair doesn't mean I'm half Jew, half Roman.
Michael will be Jesus because.
Well, here's the thing about fucking gingers is that fucking we're a long race of aliens.
All right. I'm Jesus. Okay. God damn it! Can we just get this?
I mean, if you guys want me to die on a cross, fuck. But
yeah, but you're not dark enough. People will come up with Jesus isn't. We need to go tan.
That's a whole thing now.
It's like everything.
People are finally like I've been saying it forever. When I was in like confirmation camp, I was like Jesus wasn't white, and they were like, you can't get confirmed. And I was like, cool, I'm out.
So here's the thing, dude. Look about how. Look at Jesus' dad being a fucking Roman Jew.
Jesus' dad was God.
Well, like look at him being a Roman Jew.
Yeah, you dumb fucking bitch. Read the Bible.
Look at his dad being a Roman Jew.
Have you ever seen the Bible? Have you ever been to a hotel before?
And his mom being a fucking Muslim, you know? And that's like, dude, that's it.
You've never gone to church Camp Rock
right now.
I mean, I will look into that, I guess. But one thing, the main thing I wanted to get into with like the FBI being able to interact with the 23andMe is how much of our like internet liberty, like I had a very far advanced warning from a history teacher. I think it was my freshman year. It was like, if you have a cell phone, you have no privacy rights with that cell phone.
Was it Longnecker?
No, I went to Pete.
I think you're talking about high school.
Clark, yeah. I know.
Yeah,
About high school.
And he was like, you have no liberties over your information that is on your cell phone that's owned by someone else.
Which is, like, dude, I think about that
which is crazy.
A lot.
But if it would, now we're talking about DNA. Like, say me and you are related, you could do a cheek swab to find out where the fuck our family came from, and I get you charged with a crime based off your cheek swab.
Right.
How fucking insane is that?
Well, it's like they could literally.
Do you think that's why they're fucking trying to do all these fucking?
They could lie
that's why they're
about
promoting it. That's why they're promoting the fuck out of it.
They could lie and be like, "Well, we know this guy's." People could question what the CIA and FBI was doing before, but now it's like, how do you question them when they come out saying, "Well, we matched the DNA," even though they probably didn't. But they could lie about whatever they fucking want.
But with the fucking COVID, bro, with the COVID, they fucking stick that shit up your nose and get your DNA from that, like. Is that not just another fucking thing to be to figure out who's part of the fucking bloodline?
I don't know about the bloodline.
I mean, what do they gain about knowing what do they gain about doing all the like that cost? What do they gain about? What do they gain from knowing the bloodline?
Well, I mean, I know a lot about it because I read the Da Vinci Code like 10 years ago, but
I mean, kind of pretty much
basically the same thing. But I don't know about them trying to find the bloodline through COVID tests. That seems a little far-fetched to me. I don't know.
Kind of saw some shit about it, bro.
Yeah, don't you need more than just a swab on the back?
Bro, you can fucking take fucking DNA
saliva.
From any saliva.
I mean, they found this dude through his great-great-great-grandparents.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's like the whole bloodline thing. I don't know about that, but like what I'm saying is completely, totally, 100% happening in real time, realistic. Is that the FBI CIA are infiltrating social media. They're put like how many times have you seen a 23andMe ad on YouTube?
They were everywhere.
Everywhere.
That was like all last year. And
yeah, I feel like I don't see them as much anymore. It's weird. I don't see them anymore.
Do that shit.
It's weird.
Yeah, because they got exposed after this guy got arrested. They got exposed as they're selling your fucking DNA to the federal government, which is the fine print of the contract you sign when you send that cheek swab in.
Yeah.
And people don't read the fine print. That's a huge majority of the problem. Like, a lot of people don't know that the fucking CIA was the first person that donated money to Facebook. Like the first it was a shell company run by the CIA, first donors to Facebook. How many proxy?
Well, I mean, look, we just had him on fucking in a wait, was it in the courtroom? Fucking, what was he? It just testifying that he was a platform and not a.
2 years ago.
Yeah, that was 2 years ago. Was it really 2 years ago?
Yeah, 2 years ago.
Oh my god, that's crazy.
Or
that's
maybe
wild
last
as fuck.
year.
2018 might be a historical year that no one even thinks about. Crazy.
And then fucking Trump, love him or hate him, but he's going to take that power away from these social media companies where they can't censor people anymore.
Which is important. Like,
yeah, I think it's important. I don't like the guy.
Right. Like
I'm kind of getting more to the side where I hate him. But it was
people are so they're like, wow, now they're flagging. I don't care what someone says. Like, just let it be said. Like, that's our, like, you can't just let. I don't know.
It's freedom of speech unless it offends you.
Right.
That's basically what it is. And like, my thing with Trump was always like, you guys are attacking him on bullshit. So people have to defend him. Then you're attacking the people that are defending him.
And it's like, dude, that's why they put Trump in office. That's why they put anyone in office, is for people to attack. The people who are mad attack the president, and that's the perfect scapegoat. It's always been the perfect scapegoat. As soon as a president does bad, if they're not doing as bad and people aren't revolting as hard, they get 4 more years. And then when they really get pissed off, then you take them away and put someone new in, and then everyone just goes back to being fucking normal. You saw when Obama became president, how fucking happy the whole, like, all these people got so excited and shit, and it's like
Nothing changed.
Nothing changed.
Nothing
Four
changed.
more years, bombed all these places, and people didn't even blink an eye. They were able to
Bomb
get away with it for
more
8
shit
years,
than anybody
and
else.
then once he's
Ran out of
done,
bombs.
you know what I saw earlier, and I'm sorry to some of the friends that may be listening or some of the friends, but I've seen some of my own personal friends posting shit that post that was saying how Obama is rated as the most liked president of our history, and I'm like, are you like? Does no one know? Like, do you guys
Well,
not?
it's because the people fucking voting on that are fucking like
They're not researching.
15-year-olds, dude.
Well, it could be older, like people who are in an older generation. Like they don't know. They don't know shit. Then no one knows shit. I didn't know shit before we started researching shit. I didn't know it either. It's not
Isn't
their
it
fault.
weird as
It's
fuck
it's our
when-
country's fault, man. It's
Bro.
not their fault that they're ignorant.
It's not anyone's fault. It's the
Dude,
fucking
when we
news
were-
establishment's
When we were in
fault.
school, dude, they were like, oh, they were trying to push Obama on us so fucking hard. And then fucking we went to the fucking, like, they were like, oh, let's do this fake poll, guys. Everybody they took us to the fucking computer labs and were like, everybody vote for whoever you think you need. But like 10 minutes before that, they were like, Obama this, Obama that, da 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 da. It was just really weird.
I was when Obama got elected. That's when I moved to Ohio. So I was in a whole new world, just in a whole new school, just fucking with all these new kids, seeing Obama get up there. And I'm just like, everyone's just like super happy about it. I'm like, yeah, I thought it was a good thing. I was like, man, everyone seems really happy about it. Like, I mean, I guess, the key word is change.
Yeah, that
was
yeah.
the key word was
but
change.
the thing about it is,
The hope
I
and
got
change.
fucking dollar
But
bills, bro.
Nothing happened, bro.
What the fuck you want me to do? I got
Obama was, and we're way off topic now, but who fucking cares if you stuck with this long? Obama is the first president to go all 8 years of being in a war consistently. No other president has been in wars consistently through their full 8-year term. 4 years, yes, but 8 years.
Well, then he ran his first 4 years. His election was, I'm going to pull us out of Iraq and Afghanistan.
Yeah.
And then his pulling us out turned into 6 more wars. and then his second 4 years reinstated slave trade in fucking Libya. Which I'm
just like the Golden State Killer.
Yeah, we always come back to this. So we need to get back to the GS.
I mean, I don't have a whole lot. I was just gonna ask you guys about your final thoughts on like the CIA,
bro. So
did you guys know that the CIA was the first major donor, a CIA shell corporation, first major donor to Snapchat and Pornhub?
Yo, so
I feel like I've definitely told you guys that a lot.
Just gonna let you guys know I like Pornhub a lot. I'm just gonna let you know that.
Yeah, I'm on there all the time.
Final thought though. One thing I want to say before we get off of this. The last crime committed by the Golden State Killer was in '86, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
15 years later.
The last violent crime.
So, and we knew he liked to recall houses, but his final call, which would have been when he was 53, I think, was when he called in. It was 2001. So 19 years ago, he called he had other disturbing messages, but his last house, the last call that they say is the final call, was when he called. I can't remember who, but he says, "Remember when we played?" And that was it. And that's just like, bro, 2001, like that's fucked up. Like you gave up on crime for 15 years and you decide to recall the person and say, I mean,
say that was somebody from the 70s, bro. That's like 40 years.
That's, I mean, yeah, it could have been.
That's
Yeah, we don't. I
I
didn't look up.
Like,
you could probably find 40 years. You could probably find like which person it was, but I mean, regardless, when he stopped doing his spree, he decided to say this is getting too hot. I'm gonna stop. But he's still a bad person. He's still a liar.
He's a terrible person.
That's why I'm saying, like, I do not believe him when he's in court. I was looking at him and pictures of him, and I'm like, he does not seem old enough. Like, to be, at first I felt like somewhat pity on some old guy when I saw him out there saying,
20s,
go guilty, but whatever. Guilty. Like, I'm like, bro, you are fucking high out of your mind if you think, like, I want to help older people who are not the same people as they were.
What if somebody else was doing that shit and he just taking the blame for it just because?
No, he's just doing it just to get away with it.
That's what I'm saying.
Notoriety, you know?
I mean, and maybe he's trying to pretend like he's not the bad guy anymore. Like people have done that. People have gotten wee tech. I think my favorite serial killer, Ed Kemp, dude, he fucking ignored all of his parole, wasn't it? Wasn't that?
Yeah,
Ed
he
Kemp?
didn't go to a single parole hearing.
He didn't go to a single parole hearing. He said he killed 13. I think the 13th was his mom, and he decided after this, like, bro, I deserve to be like that guy.
He's like, I don't want a death sentence. I want to help you guys profile serial killers from now on.
But it's like now it's like this guy who's saying he wasn't gonna until they decided to remove the death penalty that he would plead guilty. And I'm like, bro, that guy is, yeah, he's fighting for his life, but like, I mean, you never know. At some age, I think you just become so dementia that you deserve to be taken care of. Like, you're a different person, possibly.
We need an elderly prison system.
But I don't think so. My grandpa, I hate to drag my grandpa's fucking name in this, but, you know, fuck that guy. I saw signs of him at his oldest age when he was 100. He's over 100 and he's sitting in his chair still trying to make moves as to hit my grandma. I don't care how old you get, your inner core doesn't leave you. You could be not the same person you were, but your inner ideas of you being so far ahead of another human being that they don't even matter, and you could take their life and it doesn't matter. So even if he is that old, I don't know, man. He's not. He's 74. I think my dad's like that old, almost died, is on fucking, it has oxygen tanks and shit, and is fucking kicking around like a fucking monster. And this guy's over here sounding like he's about to fucking blow away with the wind if the wind blows too hard. Like, fuck this guy. At first, I really was almost sympathetic when I heard him speak, and then I was like, hold on, hold the phone. This guy's faking.
Yeah,
this guy's faking. All right,
and that's where we leave this one. I think.
Yeah,
this guy's faking.
This guy's faking. He's been a faker his whole life. This guy's fucking faking, dude.
He's a faking.
This guy's fucking faking. What a fucking faker.
What a fucking fucker.
Yeah. So thanks again for joining us for another exciting episode of the Who Really Knows podcast, where we ask the questions. But at the end of the day, who really knows? As I was your host, AJ, here with my good friends Dylan and Michael. Yeah, and so if you want to support the show, if you made it this far, you might as well hit up the Patreon page, patreon.com/WKPod. And yeah, and we shout out all our patrons. So if you want some recognition, just hit it up if you like the show. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. We almost are eligible for a custom URL on YouTube. We could literally make it youtube.com/fuckyourmom. But it'd be youtube.com/WKPod.
Yeah. Unless you guys fucking vote on it, you know.
And don't forget to comment what you want us to call our fans. I don't even know. Like we don't have like a
the purple people eaters.
I'll just say
The green monsters.
We'll just call you the peeps from now on.
The turds.
The Dwayne the Rock Johnsons.
But yeah, hit that up. Hit up our Twitter. DMs are open, so you can always message us.
We'll
Twitter is at WRKPod, Instagram at WRKPodcast, and
you actually get to talk to real people.
Yeah, Instagram DMs are open if you're cool.
Yeah,
you gotta be cool.
Start doing weird stuff. It ain't about that.
If you guys want to give us anything for free, maybe a couch or a coffee table, just if you pay for the shipping, we'll take it. Yeah, I'm just saying. People
we could set up a PO box. I don't know.
We'll open it on our episode.
Box,
I mean,
bro.
Shit.
What?
I got a PO box.
Send
right,
us.
We'll figure that out.
We got PO boxes.
Send us some swords and shit.
I don't know. Do you have coffee mugs you're not using anymore that your grandma gave you? Like send them to us. We'll open it on video.
Yeah. Once we'll look at opening a merch store soon, hopefully.
Yeah.
I know we've been talking about it for like 9 months now, but yeah, we'll look into it.
We'll be ready
And
when we're ready.
we just need the views and the love from you guys to back it up. But yeah, outside of that, we love you guys, and we'll catch you next Monday.
All right.